Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. This one is it's a little bit slightly different, I guess. It's a mixture of videos. In a sense, we only got a few here today. Maybe we might find some more a little bit later. But I know we all were able to see and witness the things that took place, right, when it dealt specifically with the Charlie Kirk funeral, right? So one of those things,
It's trash.
which was this video here. Yo, what is up, Ty? What is up? What is up? What's up? Uh we got y'all ain't tired yet. What is up? What is up? What's up? So we got one of these videos directly here, and we can clearly see, even without playing it, all of the amount of trash that is directly there. And I'm just a little bit confused because the main individuals that always speak on how it is that America is, looks dirty, filthy, is trash everywhere. It's always the conservatives and the Republicans, blaming the left, as they like to say, when it deals with a lot of these things taking place, right? Yo, what is up, Pink? What is up, Bushido? What is going on? He said, what's up, brother Seji? Hope your date is going well. Yeah, it is going all right. It is going all right. Y'all ain't ready, said all is well, just getting my popcorn ready. uh But yeah, a few different things to go directly over, and I'm pretty sure towards the tail end of the live stream, we'll go over and talk about the rapture videos that's been trending on TikTok at this moment in time, because I got one of those directly up there, and we can go over that. But again, matter of fact, let me just play this video real quick so we can get into this.
Look at all this trash left outside of Charlie Kirk's memorial in Glendale, Arizona. People left water bottles and chairs. They left wagons. They left snacks. All of it just littered across the ground. State Farm Arena has a no bag policy, not just clear bags, no bags. And that means folks who were out here since early this morning just left all their stuff out here. I don't know who's going to clean it up. Crowds of literally hundreds and thousands of people are just walking over this trash on their way to the security checkpoints.
Let me just be real. For all of the talk that I normally hear from Republicans and conservatives, I would have thought that we were looking at an area in California somewhere. I thought we would be looking at like a homeless encampment with the amount of trash that is directly down here, on the ground. Like, that's crazy. I'm like, why is there so much like, that's crazy. They had the pile that I'm pretty sure this was a lot of the trash that was in the streets. And I guess somebody must have got a broom or something and probably swept it directly into some piles around these cones. That looks crazy. Like, who does that? Who, like, how do you decide that you're going to this memorial, or you're going to witness something, and you just want to have all of this trash? You bring in all types of 2 liters. You got some KFC directly out there. You got some foldable chairs. You got all types of plastic bags and trash. You mean to tell me that nobody came up with an idea to have some garbage cans out there, knowing the fact that you were going to have people waiting outside? Nobody had the bright idea to have a large trash compactor or something so that the streets would be clean. That's some crazy work. And I'm like, so where is Fox News to talk about all of this littering that happened by way of the conservatives? Where's Fox News and all of the right, newscasters and anchors to talk? Like, that's crazy to me. That's nasty. Like what are you doing? You would have thought that people were specifically raised by wolves. Looking at a lot of this stuff directly down here. That's some crazy work. John Wright said, I'm sure it doesn't look like this. Hey, you're probably right. You're probably right. Tired Yet said they think they're getting beamed up by Charlie Kirk. Like I said, I don't know. Like, I just caught on to the whole thing when people, talking about the rapture is supposed to happen from anywhere from now to like the 25th or something. Tyre said, but we are all the dirty ones, huh? Yeah, that's some crazy work. That is AV. What is up? You said MAGA will say immigrants did that. Probably so. Radiette said, shall we assume it's their culture? Diabolical work. Diabolical work. But this is one of the other videos that I wanted to talk about, which is this one here. You can clearly see directly by the title where it says Grinder is on fire at the stadium, at the State Farm Stadium. Because what has been loud and quiet at the same time is the fact that, oddly enough, whenever a lot of these political events show up and they're heavily conservative, right leaning conservative, magically a lot of these apps, right, for LGBT folks, magically there's a lot of anonymous, people that start making profiles, right? And I'm like, that's a little bit weird because you have people, that really try to say that that's not really something that's a part of, the conservatives. It's not really something that's on the right. It's more so the left leaning, Democrats, and this, that, and the third, right? So let's just take a listen to this video set and see what's happening, right? Y'all ain't tired. Shout out to Tired for throwing up we like to round numbers up here for the $2 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Also want to give a shout out to somebody earlier on that actually donated to the channel. I'm not going to put your full name directly out there, but shout out to CM for the donation earlier. Much love, respect, and appreciation for that donation. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Not sure if you're going to just so happen to see this live stream or be a part of it, but shout out. I'll try to be on the lookout for the name. Hopefully it might be the same name on here. If not, again, thank you. But let's get directly into the video.
Hey, somebody said spin the block and let us know what's going down on the Grinder app while they're having this Klan rally memorial at the State Farm Stadium. Let us know what's up. Bitch, he delivered. There go the gentleman right there, right? Okay, here's him replying, and here is the map. Here's the Grinder map at the State Farm Stadium. Baby! This screenshot of the Grinder map is literally the hypocrisy of this movement caught in 4K, bitch. You got a group of groypers, incels, and Christian nationalists all waving around their purity flags talking about traditional Christian values, baby. Their phones be telling the real story, apparently. So why are the apps on fire at Republican-led, Christian nationalist-led events like this? Because their whole movement is built on repression. They want to control women, they hate on women, and they're also secretly obsessed with male bodies, specifically young male bodies. They shame queerness, and yet they secretly seek it. And the more they deny it privately, the more extreme it comes out publicly. This is why it's up exposed on Grindr or with male escorts. Because groypers, incel culture, and white nationalists all share the same secret. And the louder they scream about purity, the darker their closet really is, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Right. So now this is the actual guy who made the video that you saw the woman previously talking about and referring directly to. He made a correction underneath the post online, and he said that was not the app that was mentioned. That was not Grindr. It was another app that they just so happened to use. And for anybody wondering why the images are blocked out, that's because on a lot of those apps, people choose not to really put their face up there. They tend to put other things directly up there. So, gotta block stuff out. Right. But let's take a listen.
I wanted to give you an update on what the State Farm Stadium, the Arizona Cardinals Stadium, is looking like on the you-know-what apps. I took this at around 3:45 my time, got sidetracked doing some things, but as you can see, there's still a lot of people in the stadium itself, which is, right there next to me. Everyone up top is at an outdoor mall next door, which could be 50-50 like normal people or not. But as you can see, there are two people in the stadium who felt like they were cool to show their faces, and since I'm a petty bitch, I spent $10 so I could get close-ups of them, which I will show you now. So we have gentleman number one, who's just letting it all hang out. Again, anything I blacked out is not safe for work. It's, you know what it is, not a face. And here's a pic of the same guy. So second pic, same gentleman. Do with those two pics what you will. And then we have the second guy who is also at the stadium, doesn't have an actual face pic, but has a, like, full body pic. And look, I'm never a fan of outing people, but if you are at a literal you-know-what rally, you deserve it. Sorry about it. Like, you can't be, against people's literal rights and then also get to enjoy shit like this. Like, it's just wrong. And I just wanted to make this video to point out the absolute hypocrisy of the right. So thank y'all for checking it out. Really appreciate it.
That man is 100% correct. It doesn't make any type of sense. On one end, you want to be highly conservative, you want to be right or far right, whatever it is that people want to sit up there and call it, and you want to shun people, right, for the way that they specifically want to live out there in the open, free, and all of their lavender, right? But then at the same time, while you're shunning them and making laws against them, you're behind closed doors on a lot of these apps getting caught up with other guys, and you sitting up there, making all it don't make any type of sense. It's just, it doesn't make any type of sense. It's like you want to put on this face as like you're Mr. America, right? And you want to have, the nice suits on, you want to have the, the all white family and the kids and the white picket fence, living in the suburbs, living the high life, right? The nuclear family, the American dream. But then behind closed doors, you sitting up there, cuddling with a bear full of leather and everything, licking boots like that. What are you doing? Yo, that's some crazy work right there. Let me, yo, that's some crazy work. Woo, man. If there is ever a day where any of that information from those apps are directly out there, a lot of careers are going to be ruined. I'm just going to put that out there right now. A lot of careers are going to be ruined. A lot of people who are in the political field, they're probably going to be shunned. And the crazy part is they're going to be shunned by the exact same people who do the exact same things. They'll be like, well, Bob, this is on you. You got caught. I didn't. Yeah, we got to make some more laws, right? They're going to be doing all of that nonsense. And that, like I said, that's crazy to me. That's 100% crazy. It's like you're mad at the fact. I'm not even sure how to even explain it because it's just it's so insane. It's incredibly insane. Like, what? Like, how do you do that? Like that makes no sense. It's just, like I said, y'all conservatives, dog. I don't know what to do for y'all. Yo, I don't know what to do for y'all, man. That is crazy out here. Indian Summer said the people who put on a show aren't Christian. I mean, that's true. That is true. Shinku, what is up? What is up? You said this is no surprise. It's a part of their culture to engage in destructive behavior. Reddy said the lineage of evil comes but to kill. Yeah, it comes but to kill, steal, and destroy. So now we got another video where you're going to hear a man specifically speaking directly on this, putting another stamp on how ridiculous this all is. Let's take a listen.
Just a reminder that some of the most anti-gay, anti-LGBTQ.
So let's just freeze that real quick. They said in Phoenix, Arizona, September 21st of 2025, during Charlie Kirk's memorial service at State Farm Stadium, multiple social media posts on X and Down Detector reported that Grindr, the popular gay dating app, experienced outages or significant slowdowns in the Phoenix area. So again, it's not like people are making this up. It's not like it's a what if or anything like that. It did happen. So it just wasn't, this app here. It was multiple other apps where people go out there to seek what it is that they really want to do in life. But let me just go back.
Just a reminder that some of the most anti-gay, anti-LGBTQ people are the most gay. And it's because they don't like who they are, so they lash out at people who admit who they are. Just a reminder, it happened at the Republican National Convention too last year, and it happened at Charlie Kirk's memorial.
Woo, it's crazy. The look on that man's face said it all. He did the slow blink. I'm like, yep. That's obviously is telling. No matter how much people want to sit up there and run from what it is, you can't sit up there and say, "Oh, that was those were spoof accounts. It was the Democrats. It was the libs. it was the left. They're setting up the Republicans. They're trying to make us look bad, trying to make it seem like we're them and we're not. Nah, buddy, it's you. it's all the way you sitting up here acting as though that you're just just a model citizen, but behind closed doors, you sitting up there voguing and breaking it down, doing everything of the sort, getting your back broken in. It's diabolical in nature, but it'd be like that. It'd be like that. But then at the same time, you want to turn around and shame other people. Crazy work. And again, whatever is in the darkness shall be shown in the light. It is happening at this moment in time. It is happening at this moment in time. And to go back to something previous, right? This is technically, I was supposed to start off the live stream with this clip, but this was at a college where Charlie Kirk was speaking, right? And he's going to speak to a member of the LGBT. But I want you to specifically listen to what he states about men who are part of the right, the conservative men, those who believe directly in Trump, right? Let's just take a listen directly to that.
Next instance, they threatened to me and then just drove off.
Hold on. So a bunch of Trump guys who are largely white heterosexual males then also threatened to you?
Different group of people, but yes.
All in one night?
All in one night, sir.
I think you're making this up.
Right? So what happened, just in case people didn't catch it, right? So you have the young black male up there speaking on his experience being at the college campus, and he stated that 4 white males who were in a truck ended up seeing him, and they yelled out some crazy type of stuff, heavy on the R, when it deals with certain things, because they figure that he is a gay male. And they also use some slurs directly in that as well too. And you have Charlie Kirk. He was like, I'm not believing this. The conservative, the right, the white male Trump supporters are heavily heterosexual. They would never do anything or say anything like that. I don't believe you. And I'm like, I just, after I had to think about that, I'm like, where have I heard that before? Right. And I've heard a lot of guys on the right who are conservative say things like that to women who speak on what it is that they have gone through, right, at the hands of, men directly out here who mean to harm women. And they would like to say the exact same things there too, that they don't believe them. They don't believe that just a guy for no reason would come up and just do that to a woman. I'm like, sounds real familiar. It sounds very textbook, at this moment in time. And he went into a lot of, different questions and all these other types of things. And I'm like, you're doing a little bit too much there, Charles. Yeah, you need to, pull a little bit back. Like I said, I don't know who the young man is. I don't know him from a can of paint at the end of the day. But I'm not going to sit up there and state that the experience that he had is untrue. Right, just as well as Charlie Kirk could say that his experience is untrue, the information that Charlie Kirk is giving at this moment in time could very easily be untrue. You don't know who those 4 guys are. right? While you're saying that you disbelieve him and saying that that just didn't happen, it was just, whatnot or whatever. You don't know who those four guys were. You don't know anything about them. So it's like realistically, everybody's on the exact same playing field, at this moment in time, right? But can't tell people nothing. Shout out to Solo Dolo. What is up, brother? What is up? What is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. And shout out for the $20 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. If that, because I remember, if I'm correct, because sometimes people might walk up with different names when I'm looking at the spelling. If I'm correct, I've seen you directly on these X streets under a lot of different post, doing the Lord's work, going back and forth with people. Like I said, I be I be out here, in these internet streets. I've spotted, quite a few of y'all, out here just, doing y'all normal, work out here, going back and forth with the trolls and racists, directly out here on X and whatnot or whatever. Much love to y'all. Much love, respect, and appreciation for the dedication that y'all got on these internet streets. Going back and forth with these trolls out here. Shout out to Solo Dolo. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, much love. Um, what was it? Jonathan said, I don't believe him either, but if he's telling the truth, that is awful. Well, this is the thing. Um, there's a variety of things that happen and take place, and people don't report it. Like there's been times that I've had an instance where it was a group of white guys directly in a vehicle, walking minding my own business, and decided to, yell out a racial slur directly towards me. Now I can sit up there and say that that took place. I can say that it happened, but other people online be like, "Well, did that really happen? What time of day did that happen? Where were you specifically located? What were you wearing? What was the make and model of the car? What was the license plate? What was this? What was that?" And I'm like, "Dog, you don't gotta believe me. That's cool." You don't got to sit up there and believe me, because even if I can fill in all of those quotas in that box to give you all the information, that's still not going to have you believe what it is that I'm saying. But on the reverse end, if somebody white basically said that they had an experience with a black person, the whole world is believing it. It's crazy how that works, right? If somebody came directly in front of Charlie Kirk and said like, "Yo, I had this terrible experience, with black people," he'd be like, "Yeah, I understand, because statistically speaking, they got a propensity to do X, Y, Z, and you got to look at the stats and the per capita and this, that, and the third, right?" It's automatically believed. Everybody's clapping it up in the you know whoever's viewing in the background. Like I said, it's crazy how it works. It's crazy. Yo, Miss Gray, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said, Shalom, brother. SEIJIHITO chat and the mods. What is up, Gail? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Jonathan said, I have experienced so much racism and hatred as a white dude from black people, but nobody cares, including me. That's on them. Ignorance. This is the thing. I'm a little bit confused directly on that. Jonathan, you say you experienced racism, right? But then at the same time you don't care. I'm a little bit confused on that. That doesn't make any type of sense, right? Because the funniest thing is normally how things tend to work with black people is that if something happens to a group of people and you explain experiences, you will have black people like, "Yo, that's jacked up. That's messed up." So, like I said, I don't know where where you're from, where you're specifically located, what black people you're specifically talking about, or if this is even a true story directly at all, because I don't even know about that one at all. Because when black Americans talk about racism, we're talking about systematic oppression. We're talking about people with the ability, people that got the complexion for the protection, people that have the ability, right, to stop black people from getting loans, right, to stop them from entering buildings, right, have the ability to directly call the police, on a black person because they just didn't like the way that they looked, and different things in that nature. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. I think I gotta go back real quick. I think I may. Hopefully I do. Hopefully I actually downloaded that video real quick. because there is a video that actually matches up with that. Let me see. Huh. I might not. Okay. Let me see. Hopefully, I may be able to pull that video. I was smart enough to actually save it. I got that. So yeah, we actually, matter of fact, I got you. I'm gonna showcase this video because it matches up with what I'm talking about real quick. So for everybody that's a little bit confused on how this got towards race and color and things of that nature, again, I'm responding directly to Jonathan's comment about how it is that he was treated, and he went through those things, and I'm explaining the difference between the racism that Black Americans are talking about versus what everybody else wants to specifically talk about. Because again, I, as a Black American male, I can never stop Jonathan from entering the building. I can't automatically call the police and have 20 deep in 2 different precincts showing up to the scene, guns drawn. Right? I can't get the FBI to start banging on his door and automatically looking for him. Right? There's a lot of things that I would never be able to do because nobody would allow it. Nobody would, specifically believe me. Yo, what is up, Sham? Miss Daltrey, what is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, much love, much love. Somebody said, so wait. So let me just favorite Jonathan's comment real quick because I see somebody up there. They said, you have racism stuck in your mind if you think that people are calling the cops just because you walk into a building and you're Black. Oh, thank you for being here. I love you so much. Who is this? What is it? Dad Juju. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I want everybody to look at this example that I have up here. And they said that I'm the one that's stuck on racism, right? So let's look directly at this video and let's see if I am the one that is the problem, if I'm Neo in the Matrix, right? Let's take a listen.
This is video where a Black writer for the show The Bear had the cops called on him because this white woman didn't like the way he was sitting. Listen to this.
Arrest the one Black dude on the train because this white woman said she didn't like the way I was sitting on the train. So you call the police. You call the police to arrest the one Black dude on the train. I haven't done anything illegal. I haven't done anything illegal. I haven't done anything illegal. I am sitting on a train, and one white woman didn't like my presence. Resisting what? Resisting what? What are you trying to arrest me for? I was sitting on a train. I was sitting on a train, and you're trying to arrest me for what? Can I not even know what you're trying to arrest me for? Because a white woman, this white woman, resisting what? Am I being arrested?
This happened to Alex O'Keefe, who has been a writer on The Bear, and he's also been a speechwriter for people like Elizabeth Warren. And according to reports and Alex's own accounts, he was on a train going to Connecticut. He was sitting minding his own business when she got on and started to complain about the way he was sitting. When Alex refused, she went to the conductor, and the conductor called the police. And as they were waiting for the police to arrive, one of the people that was with the old lady told Alex, "You're not the minority anymore." Alex was taken off the train. He was handcuffed and questioned for a while. But then when he reminded them that he was not given a lawyer and that the cops didn't even talk to the old white woman and get her statement, that's when they let him go. And just a reminder, this is what white people do. They weaponize the police this way. There was a time in this country where any white person could tell any person of color, especially Black people, hey, go to the store for me. And if they didn't, they could call the cops on a Black kid for not going to the store for them. And it seems like we're right back there, that if a Black person does not sit up straight, any white person can call the cops on them. And the cops will come and happily oblige. And this is nothing against Alex. He seems like a great person. But I'm talking about people who think that if you're good enough and you do everything right and you're exceptional, that white people will accept you. Alex seems exceptional. But unfortunately, any white person can strip a person of color of all that. All they have to do is call the police and say, he's sitting wrong. And if in any way you're feeling sorry for this old lady, like, oh, look at her, maybe she was confused, maybe she didn't know. No, she knew exactly what she was doing. I'm sure this isn't the first time she's weaponized the police against a black body or any person of color. We still don't know who she is, but doesn't matter because we live in such a fucked up system that anybody can do this. I'm really sorry this happened to Alex. I really do hope he's okay. And I'm just wondering, how and when will we get to the point where white people can't fucking do this to us anymore?
So this is where we are at this moment in time, right? Because I wanted to let that sit. I wanted to let that simmer. So where is Dad Juju at this moment in time? Solo said no sound. No. I was trying to allow those who saw the video who wanted to give excuses. I wanted to allow them a time of silence. I wanted to allow them a time of silence because I have an understanding when you have a lot of people that are confused and they don't know what else to do, you got to just let them sit directly in that stew because they're not going to have a response for this. That one person, Dad Juju, that I have highlighted right here, he's not going to show back up. I'm not sure if my moderators might have got rid of him. It could be. It's a 50-50. But again, he ain't going to say nothing. Any of the other white folks that normally come directly to this chat, they ain't going to have nothing to say for this. This is one of your people. White folks, this is one of your people, one of your elders that decided, and she's more than likely either with her caregiver or her daughter. Either which one, these are both women of the community, and they're both standing side by side and calling the police on a black man for no reason. That's some crazy work. So like I said, for the white people that's actually like here right at this moment in time, let me know why it is that y'all never have a response or an answer and y'all like to disappear whenever this proof shows up. Wait a minute. Somebody said blacks destroy everything. Word? That's how you feeling? That's how you feeling? That's hold on for the mods. Keep him right there. Don't have keep that person right there. Keep that person. So for those in the background that want to sit up there and troll, right? You say that blacks destroy everything, correct? No problem. So I want to bring up Exhibit B. Right? So DJ MFB said blacks destroy everything. So blacken this situation for me. right? You said what you say? What you say? You said destructive everywhere they go, right? DJ MFB, let me know. Let me know. Blacken this situation for me. Let me know the per capita. Let me know the FBI stats. Right? Let me know the world globe stats, right, on blacks and how the blacks has something to do with this image here. Let me know. Let me know that real quick. Give me the stat. Take your time. Take your time. Go through the FBI. Go through the Utah stats with the crime with the blacks. It's about 1.1, 1.2, black percentage directly out there. I'm pretty sure those blacks out there are committing, trillions of crimes out there in Utah. Utah is looking like a democratic state, as you guys like to sit up there and say. Let me know specifically, what are those stats? Let me know. Whoa. You said I'm just showing an instance? Oh, baby boy, what you talking? Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me go back. And this is on the heels. And this is a video that I just recently did. This is a video for anybody else that's trying to sit up there and talk crazy, right? For all of those white folks out there, because I know y'all don't even know who these white folks are. None of them, right? But I do, because I reported directly on this. The first video, I'm sorry, not the first video, the first picture that you got up there is of Ruth. That is the white male that took the life of 3 officers, ambushed them, took their lives. Why is it, right? All of the stuff that you guys want to talk about. Hold on. Whoa. You said what? You said you're in denial. Blacks are problematic. Brother, do you not see the image directly in front of you? This just happened. You're the one that's in denial. This just happened. These things that I'm telling you about just happened. Where you got white males in your community that are injuring and taking the lives of people. Matter of fact, the last guy that you see at the very bottom, that guy walked into a country club. I'm black all day long. I can't even point you into the direction of a country club. So as soon as I heard this, I automatically knew he was white. I already knew. I don't need per capita. I don't need FBI stats. I just knew. I can't, like I said, I'm black. I can't point. I don't know where a country club is, but y'all do. He walked right in that country club and started lighting the place up like it was the 4th of July. But do you think that DJ MFB is going to have anything to say about those white lives that were lost and harmed and injured? Nah. Do you think that he cares about those white lives that were lost and injured by way of these white men here? Nope. But what does he care about? Oh, the blacks. Oh, the per capita. The stats. This, the stat, and the third. We done went over these stats like 99 different times on this channel. We done did this. You said whataboutism's not going to help me. I'm just listing the stats that I directly have. Right? Because you know what? This is what I like to sit up there and do, because I like to be honest. Right? When we went over the stats dealing with the FBI, and they stated that, black people happen to, do a heightened amount of murders, no problem. I can sit up there and hold that L. There was about 3 L's, about 3, maybe 4 L's out of all of the stats from the FBI that the blacks, as you guys like to say, had to hold. The rest of that list, your names are in the rafters. So that's not a whataboutism. That's not a whataboutism. Those are facts. Like I said, we brought up these stats and went over these stats countless times. I mean, I got the stats directly on deck. I mean, I got those, including some other stats. Because do we want to start talking about the crimes against animals? Do we want to start? Because I'm pretty sure that you're more than likely a white male. Oh, you going to the 13, 15 type of? No problem. You got it, bro. You got it. But who's committing those crimes against those animals, though? Who is going out there and entrapping animals and taking those animals against their will? DJ, who's doing that? Give me the per capita directly on that stat, because you got the stats on everything else, right? You got the stats on everything else. Just saying. Because again, the main reason that I'm bringing all of this up, and let me just make sure to put this image back up there. The reason why a lot of things are able to take place and happen directly in the United States is because the main majority that are here, which are white folks, you guys tend to not give a second look at your own people when they show signs of being rabid, when they show signs of being willing to attack their own, willing to destroy your own community. You know how many drug dealers you got in your community that are causing people to OD at this moment in time, where you're losing kids, you're losing your wives, your sons, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles. Like, they're knocking out homes at this moment in time. Like, you got areas across America that are zombie land, where literally I can go on YouTube and watch white folks doing the Matrix because they're just high as a kite, don't know what's happening. And then you got the child stroller directly to the side. But I'm pretty sure some type of way you're gonna tell me that, oh, per capita, the reason that the white community suffers is because the blacks, they're putting the drugs in the white communities, because before the blacks were here, we never had this problem. I'm pretty sure you're gonna tell me that. Pretty sure you're gonna tell me it was a black drug dealer that's giving all white folks out here drugs. They didn't put weed, crack cocaine, heroin, all of these things. It was the blacks that sat up there and ushered in the drug wave in the white communities. I'm pretty sure. It's crazy. Oh, I'm a little bit confused. Oh, but you know, the funny thing is, I've talked about those stats just to let you know. That's the craziest part that I love so much. Whenever you guys are Johnny come latelys directly to this platform, I've covered all of that before. I've given the stats, and I did not just sit up there and say that when it dealt with the murder stats, black people were holding that L. I did not just clearly say that, but for whatever reason, you got losers that pop directly up on the scene that don't want to pay attention and listen, and then they just want to regurgitate what it is that they're so used to regurgitating, because they're not trying to hear, even if somebody is telling the truth, they're not trying to hear exactly what it is. Like I said, I can take L's. I have no problem with that. I have no problem. Like I said, when it dealt with a lot of those things on those stats, I'm like, you know what? That's an L. I can be honest about that. I can hold that. The problem is that when it deals with white folks, when it's time for y'all to actually hold some L's, y'all don't have your hands open. Y'all don't even have your hands raised. You don't even got a finger pointed just to even question, be like, hey, maybe I might. You don't even want to do that, because in your minds, you're basically taught by your own demographic that pretty much y'all don't do nothing. It's on everybody else. The reason why crime exists in the United States is because everybody else, number one, it's the blacks. Right? Number two, y'all probably will say the Hispanics. Number three, y'all probably will try to blame the Muslims for something. Right? And then number four is whoever it else that y'all want to sit up there and blame. Right? Those are the main four groups that y'all specifically go after and target, and specifically state that these are the reasons why America is the way that it is. But for no reason at all, y'all magically, white people commit crimes, doing the wrong things? No, never. We don't do that. We would never attack our own. We would never harm our own. We would never be like, what was the white boy's name? Chris Watts, whatever his name is, that sat up there and just killed his whole family. And didn't he like bury them in canisters like on the job site? And he lied about it. Dude was up there like, yeah, I this was her lifeline. This is her phone. I don't know what happened. I don't know where she is. And he was the one that sat up there and did that to her, right? That's some crazy work. And I done seen a lot of stories like that, where white boys are just sitting up there taking out their wives. And I'm like, dog, what is wrong with you? I'm like, you got the perfect thing. You got the family, the kids, the white picket fence. I'm like, how do you just decide just one day you're happy, and then the next day you're like, I'm about to just, cut everything loose? What? And y'all don't want to talk about that? And y'all got a problem when I wanna sit up there and bring it up? That's crazy. That's diabolical. And then somebody said, keep it 200 said, You are black, K. Stop talking about this. Stop talking about what? Stop talking about what? Let me know. What am I on my platform? What am I supposed to stop talking about? Let me know. Somebody, what was it? DJ said, wait, let me go back and do. All right, let me go down there. You said, so you time people out when they disagree. That's an echo chamber. I mean, I didn't, specifically, do anything. Things are up to other people's discretions. I mean, it be like that sometimes. If they happen to think that you're talking sideways, talking crazy stuff, ain't making sense, then you might get thrown directly into the shadow realm. It'd be like that. We get a lot of trolls that pop directly up here to this platform. But to say that in a sense it's an echo chamber is completely crazy, because the funny thing about that, DJ, is interesting enough, I've had a lot of white folks or trolls, whatever it is that you want to call it, or the best bet that y'all like to really use is China, 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 right? I've had a lot of folks up here that decided that they wanted to use all types of slurs and stereotypes towards me, being a black American. And I'm like, there's only two groups out here that I know specifically that would really do something like that, and none of them are black. One of them I know is white, and then the other one I know is honorary. Somewhere in that area. But like I said, it comes directly with the territory, right? And also, like I said before, DJ, what tends to happen is that you know we used to showcase comments directly up here, but the few will mess it up for the many, right? So all of the white trolls, those folks that like to come directly up to the platforms of black content creators, this is why we can't show off comments no more, because a lot of y'all don't know how to talk. Like, how y'all normally tell me, oh, speak English, pronunciate, and this, that, and the third. A lot of y'all don't even know how to talk with common sense. You can't, really speak without using some type of expletive or all of these other types of things, or using some type of stereotype or racist quote and all this other type of stuff. Again, the few will mess it up for the many. It's crazy work. It's almost to the akin to what I said before, where the few, the rich, will mess it up for the world, which is the many. And we see how that's playing out at this moment in time. It be like that though. It be like that. Somebody said, y'all ain't tired. Said, what about Snapped? So many episodes are exhibiting their behavior. I might actually have to look that up. Yo, Lunch, what is up? What is up? You said the personal genjutsu is so strong that they don't believe Charlie Kirk was down by other whites. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. And like I said before, the funniest thing is, as I've stated before, and I went over those type of stats where it dealt with the murder rates in between white folks and black folks. I specifically pointed out the fact that crime within proximity, right? When it's black people amongst themselves, of course, things are going to happen. Disagreements, arguments, people tend to lose lives. It be like that. It shouldn't be like that, but it be like that. And then I highlight the exact same thing with white folks. And I'm like, how is this happening? I'm like, these are the high IQs. These are the geniuses, of the universe. Right? These are the children of God, as the Mormons say, right? Y'all the ones that's supposed to, not only repopulate the earth, but the whole, universe, right? In the image of God. So it's a little bit baffling and confusing to me how it is that white folks are doing crimes against themselves. I thought it was supposed to be the savages, the low IQs, the ones that are sloped foreheads and all this other type of stuff that y'all like to sit up there and say, right? All of these nonsensical things. I thought it was everybody else that was supposed to be doing the most horrendous things. But when the stats come out, and these stats are by way of other white people, right, in higher positions, it's like y'all just out here just doing anything. And I'm like, y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to just so happen to highlight that as a problem in your communities. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it is just me. What else we got? Beautiful said the FBI data shows that the percentage of white homicide victims are killed by other white people in the United States has typically been between 80% and 84%. Mm. That's diabolical in nature. That is diabolical in nature. DJ said, you said what race is the most prevalent? What race is prevalent in the most dangerous cities in our country? I'll wait. You're talking about specific areas, right? So if you want to specifically say black areas, that goes right into what I stated earlier. I'm not sure if you're gathering what it is that I'm stating this whole time. Like this is how. Let me just highlight this. This is how stupid these conversations get, right? So I'm a black American. I've obviously stated that there's stats directly out there dealing with the FBI, where it's like, yo, got to hold some L's. That's cool, right? No problem. Not even sitting up there disagreeing, not even sitting up there arguing, not even trying to say, oh, the numbers are skewed. Nah, it's cool. I'll sit up there and take those L's. Like I said, from Detroit, born and raised, I watched the Lions on Thanksgiving Day, and at a moment in time, they had like 17 or like 19 losses. It was tough, right? So I can sit up there and handle losses. I can hold L's, no problem. But like I said before, it's crazy that when you bring the stats to show how white people negatively affect other white people, it's like y'all just don't know how to compute that. Y'all don't know what to do with that. So then y'all keep moving the goalpost to something else. And I'm like, it makes no sense. Y'all make up the majority in this country. And when it deals with these suburbs and these white counties, these white countries, and these white states, y'all got a tremendous amount of crime, and it has zero to do with black folks. Like there are white men out here that are literally taking out their families to the barn, treating them like Old Yeller, treating them like Bambi's mom. Like, how are you missing this? How are you missing this and still trying to move the goalposts? Like I said, even with stuff directly in front of y'all, you don't even want to fixate on the problem. I can sit up there and say, like, yeah, it's jacked up in the black community. We're sitting up there happening. Hey, going to sit up there and work on it. But we have community members and people that are focused on curbing violence, curbing gang violence, curbing the drugs. And we got many other initiatives directly out there. The only difference is y'all not privy to it because that's not the information that y'all look for. I've done videos and showcased a variety of things up here that could actually educate people, but y'all don't actually care about that. Y'all care about this whole invisible argument on trying to paint black Americans as the most dangerous people in the world. And that's just not the case. The most detrimental people in the world, that's just not the case. Like I said before, that's some crazy work, man. That's 100% crazy work how y'all ignore on time. Every time you ignore all the things that y'all specifically do to yourselves, all to look specifically at black Americans. That's crazy. That is diabolical in nature. Diabolical. Mark Jameson said, who is honorary? Well, I mean, that could fit in two categories. You can well, technically honorary would be anybody who is Latin Hispanic. Those who would be considered, in a sense, like shoulder to shoulder, or the model minority would be the Asian population directly out here, right? So technically, you got two groups, in a sense, who would fit directly within that area, right? But I'm only talking about two who have the main population when it deals with the United States, right? Asians don't really got a population here in comparison to whites and in comparison to Hispanics directly out here. Let me see what else we got. You said they act like language is an ever evolving, multifaceted communication avenue. Ready Yet said most of them are cowards too. Beautiful is posting that in there. It was like, yo, Beautiful was like, yo, y'all ain't about to sit up there and miss these stats out here. Y'all want to keep talking about black people? No problem. Let me keep dropping these stats so you're going to see it. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for dropping those stats directly in the conversation. Shout out to you. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Doug says sloped forehead. Never heard that one. Oh, you never heard that one? That's crazy. That's a little bit odd for me because I've heard of it, and but that's by way of, like I said, I've been on these internet streets for a very long time. And the thing that I've learned, because a lot of people weren't really there in a sense, the beautiful thing about the internet is how open it is, right? There was a specific point in time where it seemed as though that white folks thought that they were the only ones that pretty much had the internet and access to it. So whenever these platforms were created, and I'm talking about like during like the .com era and things of that nature, white folks would be as open and honest about race and race relations in a lot of comment sections across the web, right? So it doesn't matter if it was an AOL chat room. It don't matter if you was on Netscape. Um, it don't matter if it was like, going through websites on Internet Explorer, whatever it was. White folks were very transparent on how they felt about race, how it is that they will refer and speak about people and different things of that nature. And I learned a variety of things being a young black male, being able to peer directly into that. I learned a lot of the insults, the stereotypes, um, learned a lot of other racial slurs that you guys have come up with that I've never even heard of. I'm like, who thought? I'm like, who thought of that? I'm trying to figure out how that even makes sense. I'm like, I gotta actually like do some. I'm like, how does this like? What does this even mean? Right? Like I said, it's crazy. It's crazy work how a lot of people want to make it seem as though that all of this stuff dealing with racism and whatnot is so long ago. No, it's not. It's not. Especially if you got anybody that is born during the tech age, which is now, that had access to a computer earlier on, and you were able to peer in and watch and view what white people decide to write. Yeah, nah, y'all. Like I said, y'all can miss me with that. Y'all can miss me directly with that one. That's some crazy work out here. Like I said, I remember. Y'all just lucky I did not have a capture card during that time because we didn't have them. Y'all just lucky I didn't have a capture card in order to put that stuff directly up here because I really would. I would showcase y'all in all of y'all glory. Mo said, "Can you address Emery Randall? Who's that?" He said Emery Randall. Let me. I'm trying to find where's that name at? Is that up above somewhere? He said Emery Randall. Where is that name at real quick? Yeah, I'm not, and I'm trying to go all the way up. I do not see. Okay, so it's further up. Damn, where they at? Hold on, let me see. Yo, Mahoko, what is up? What is up? What is up? I'm really trying to find this person. I kid you not. I see somebody by the name of Iron Will directly up there. Yo, Yun, what is up? What is up? What is up? I'm just gonna be honest. I'm scrolling back through to like 4:26 p.m. and we're currently at 4:44, and I am not seeing this. I see certain people up here like several times. I guess they're making like responses to people, but I'm not seeing Emery Randall. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know what to tell you. Now I got to scroll back down and try to figure out where I was. Um. Okay. I had Doug Marks. See, I cannot find Emery Randall. I'm dead serious. I went back up there. I'm not trying to fully go directly through, but it'd be like that. No said we're in a world of pointing fingers and no accountability at this point. It's pathetic, but the politics are just teaching to point, then ignore. I mean, it'd be like that. As stated before, and I've showcased this multiple times. You have Black Americans out here that will take accountability for a lot of things, and by way of taking accountability, I mean performing actions in the community, being active in the community. But as stated before, whenever these actions are specifically taking place, the same people that tell Black people, "Oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, clean up your own backyard," and all this other type of stuff, they never want to highlight or talk about those things. They just want to keep regurgitating the exact same thing, like somebody said earlier, where they want to just leave off on this whole thing, like, oh, like somebody told me, clean up your own backyard, buddy. If we're neighbors, your backyard is my backyard. I don't know, I don't know what you're talking about. Your junk been flying over here since Dorothy, left for Oz. I don't know what else to sit up there and tell you here. Like I said, a lot of the trash that I see in my backyard, I didn't ask for. I didn't sit up there and create, right? Like I said, all of the stereotypes and the stats or the statistics that they can list about, black men, young black boys, yeah, I didn't blew past all of those. So whatever you can sit up there and list a name, that falls flat directly on me. It's not doing nothing, right? It's like rain on duck feathers. It's water droplets. It's falling directly away. And a lot of the trash that I just so happen to see are those out there pointing the finger, the main ones projecting, because they don't want to fixate on how unclean their house is, running around with rodents, with rotten food, with gnats and maggots directly in their refrigerator, possums running directly on and through the house and the walls. They don't want to talk about how dilapidated that structure is and how it needs to be condemned and nobody should be living there. But yet you want to sit up there and focus on your black neighbor and you want to say that how they're problematic. Okay. That's crazy work to me. That is diabolical in nature. That is diabolical in nature. But it'd be like that though. That'd be like that though. What? Wait a minute. Who is this? Who is this? Darlene, whatever your last name is, you said you have the worst character. You didn't even know just to be quiet for a few days. You are so classless. Who are you talking to? Who let me let me know who you talking to. Because then you wanted to pop out of the scene talking about some bye Mr. Delusional. You'll be by if my moderators didn't catch you, but again, I'm just trying to figure out who are you talking about? Who specifically? Like, that's some crazy work out here. I was supposed to be quiet, but quiet for what? Who? Why? So wait. Why? This to the white folks directly in the chat. Why am I supposed to be quiet as a black American? Why am I supposed to be quiet, and how am I classless? Right? Because let me sit up there. Let me see. Right. Let me see if I can get an image of it real quick, right? Trying to see if I gotta, let me see, I gotta zoom this in real quick. Where's X at real quick? Let me just go here. Because before I say it, I want to have the at least the images. Right? There we go. Thank you. So for those out there that want to say that I, as a black American, like I'm classless, I should be quiet and all this other type of stuff, white folks, let me know where you and your family was during this time, right? This was what white kids were doing all online when it dealt with Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. Your kids were online doing this, and they called it the Trayvon Challenge. Wouldn't we say that your kids need to shut up and your kids are tasteless and classless, but y'all wasn't doing that? Y'all wasn't doing that. Y'all also had something called the George Floyd Challenge, right? Where y'all would sit up there and get together and take photos, and you would sit up there and put a knee directly on your friends or your family members' necks and laugh about it. And y'all would also dress up like these people during Halloween as well, too, right? What am I missing? Let me know. Let me know specifically what I'm missing. Because like I said, it's crazy. It's crazy to me how y'all want to sit up there and try to say that I'm tasteless and classless. And I didn't even wait a couple of days. As soon as everything happened with Trayvon Martin, this is what y'all was out there doing. So what we talking about? Right? Y'all into dark humor though, right? Right? This is what y'all like to do. This will be considered dark humor, right? So if you got black folks out there doing the same thing during this time, who's at fault now? Who started it? Because never at any moment in time in my community have I ever thought with me and my friends like, oh, some random white person died. Let's sit up there and turn that into a challenge and go on social media and I never that never crossed my mind at all. It's like, dang, it's like, yo, they really lost their life like that. That's sad. But nope, when it deals with y'all sit up there and start making challenges. Y'all start dressing up as people on Halloween and think that everything is funny. Like that's some crazy work though. But say, that's diabolical work. That's some diabolical work. Somebody said you're comparing your actions to kids' actions. You do realize when Trayvon Martin took place, these are no longer kids, these are grown adults who are more than likely the exact same, if not worse. Why are we sitting up there playing at this moment in time? What are we doing? And then on top of that, my actions, I'm not saying anything wrong, which is the crazy part. I have not said anything wrong when it dealt with Charlie Kirk. That's some diabolical work. The setups are real out here, but luckily I play fighting games and I can happen to read, some movements. Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to set up or what you're trying to specifically say. I wish you would actually say it, but yeah, I haven't said anything wrong. So again, it's a little bit diabolical how it is that people want to come up here and say that I'm tasteless and I'm classless, like I literally said something wrong. I didn't say anything wrong. Didn't say anything wrong. That's some crazy work. Diabolical. Man, oh man. Woo! A hit cow will holler. I tell you that. It's diabolical work. Diabolical. But it be like that though. Like I said, y'all like, y'all into dark humor. This is the type of stuff that y'all directly into, right? Diabolical work. But anyways, now we're going to go on to a little bit of a different area now, where we're going to be focused on the fact that you got an immigrant that is directly for. Let me, because I like highlighting comments here. Hold on, let me. Oh, did I? Or okay, I already got hers marked. Okay, no problem. So, just in case I gotta go back there real quick. You said show him doing the George Floyd challenge. Hold on, let me see if I can find that real quick. I wish that was not so blurry. Gotcha. Wait, let me see. I might have to click so I can get the full. Maybe I can get a better image. Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So let me just do this. Excuse me. Let me see if I can get this real quick. Okay, it's not really showing how I wanted to do. All right, so let me try to save. All right, so let me go back and try to post that directly. Yeah. So this is some of y'all folks out there, some of y'all kids, grown men as well, because somebody said that, oh, you're comparing your actions to kids. No problem, since you want to downplay everything. We got grown men directly in this one doing the George Floyd challenge, all white. What you got for me now? What you gonna say? What are you going to tell me now? What are you going to tell me that you're going to try to minimize it by saying that, oh, these are just 22-year-old kids? It's like y'all did before. Oh, it was just a kid that sat up there and committed this crime, right? Like y'all did with the whole thing with Charlie Kirk, trying to minimize the age and the severity of it by calling him a kid when he's a 22-year-old man that decided to take a life. I'm pretty sure that you're going to work on a way to minimize this, right? These aren't fully grown men. You're going to make some excuses. You're going to move the goalposts. You're going to bring up the per capita. You're going to bring up the stats. You're going to bring up the Democrat-run cities. You're going to bring up Chicago and how 1 trillion people just died yesterday, right? The same playbook. Or you're going to return to what? Factory default setting of racism. Start trying to spell out the N-word, trying to say the N-word, or trying to use some type of abbreviated way to put it directly out there, or some other type of word, right? Like y'all used to use for the Ahmaud Arbery, right? Y'all were online calling every single black man a jogger because you didn't want to say what really you wanted to say, so you came up with a whole nother word. Like I said, y'all got the same tired playbook all day, every day. Y'all don't create nothing. Y'all don't create nothing, literally. You can even tell by the racism that y'all use on an everyday basis. Don't create nothing. Haven't created really anything new in a very long time. So now we're here. Diabolical work. Diabolical work. Oh, Jason said, is crickets from these folks? No. We got some we got some people out here. Somebody this Jason dude said blacks must go. Go where? Let me know as a black American where I'm gonna go, right? If you were like one of the slave masters, right? Let me know where you're gonna sit up there and ship me. What, you gonna ship me over there to Africa, right? Because that's where everybody. Let me not say everybody. That's where all the blacks came from, right? The same regurgitated nonsense that y'all keep sitting up there spewing. Even though on every single continent here you had groups of people or shared people, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a thing, right? Oh, Mo said he went to the Bermuda Triangle. It'd be like that. You know, you got that one-way ticket real quick. You didn't even know. You should have took that turn to Albuquerque, and you ended up going through the triangle. Oh man, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. You know, like I said before. But like I said, shout out to y'all. Y'all further prove the whole thing dealing with racism and all of those things that I commonly talk about. But like I said before, for any of the white folks directly in the background, I would like to clap it up for you guys for staying silent whenever these folks show up to the comment section and I highlight their comments, and y'all tend not to say nothing. And y'all sit idly by and allow it to happen. Again, you are complicit in those actions. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that directly out there, because normally what people would like to say with black people in the black community, pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. If you want things done, go out there and fix, go out there and help people, treat people like human beings. But when the exact same thing could take place here, I sit idly by. Let me just let those other white folks be racist, because I'm not a part of that. I'm not like them. I'm different. I'm going to show up by not egging it on, but at the same time, you're showcasing it by allowing it to go on. Just saying. Just saying. I just gotta just gotta point that out, man, because a lot of people just don't understand. But like I said before, the two images that you see directly up here, these are challenges that white folks came up with. The Trayvon Martin challenge, and then they came up with the George Floyd challenge. Again, I never in any of my life, I can't list you any of my friends that I've even known. I can't even list you some of the most ignorant people that I've known have ever done anything like this, by making light of another race's death that's been showcased on social media or the news. We just thought it was messed up and that it shouldn't happen. But like I said, the thought process of black Americans is different from a lot of other folks directly out here. And the internet is forever, for at least 240 or 248 years. How much digital content will last, from at least the last time that I looked this stuff up. Like I said, the internet is forever. And for a lot of those who are online and they took place in a lot of this stuff, for white folks out there, I want y'all to know that at a point in time, your grandchildren will see this. Shout out to the Zero Rangers. Shout out to Jason David Frank. RIP. But yeah, a lot of your grandchildren are going to be able to see and witness a lot of this nonsense that y'all were doing. They're going to be able to see. This is what I want to sit up there and say to the white folks out there. The beautiful thing that I love about this digital age is that y'all can't run from this like y'all ran from the past. Like from my grandma's era, right? When we look at like the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, and the 10s and the 90s, right? How a lot of people could sweep that under the rug and act like it didn't exist. They can just hide the photo album and all of the pictures from picnics and all this, right? How y'all can do that? You can't run from this. You can't hide this. The only way to hide this is to cut off the whole internet. But you're not going to do that. So now you're at a dilemma where at a point in time, your friends and family members in the future are going to be able to see the person that you are. They're going to be able to peer into that lifetime, into that year point, and be like, yo, this is you? Why would you do something like this? Like, why am I even associated with somebody? Like I said, like, yo, y'all ain't going to be able to run from a lot of the stuff that's coming. And everything that is going to transpire and take place, it is specifically on you and it is directly on your hands. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be on you. It be like that. Mm-mm-mm. Cheryl West or Weiss said it was crazy content today. Crazy. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it'd be like that. Like I said, it ain't gonna be no running. And then I especially want to sit up there and to, like I said, the white dudes, it's already, normal. It's whatever it is. We already know what it is, right? But for the white women out here, that have taken part in other challenges, such as blackface, yeah, y'all right up there too. The blackface, the blackfishing, all of the things with deciding to get on camera and start, calling black people the N-word and all this. Yeah, yeah, it's up for y'all too. You are not going to be missing the fray either. Both of y'all are going to be going hand in hand directly through this situation of fire. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Oh, and God help you. Would God help you if the rapture, for any of you guys, for white folks in this comment section that are Christians, God help you if you are actually Christian. And the rapture is to, so as people on TikTok are saying, if it's supposed to happen in the 2 to 3 days from now or whatnot or whatever. Oh boy. There is not enough time left for you to get everything in order. There's not enough separation from the amounts of evils that you've done in order to buy your way into heaven. There's not enough that you can do at this moment in time. You're going to have to be sitting directly in limbo, or you're going to have a nice flaming seat, just to be real. Just to be real, because I don't know why a lot of y'all think that y'all going to supposedly make it into heaven, knowing your history and knowing the fact that the son has to pay for the father's sins. I don't know why y'all think that y'all about to sit up there and be making it to some grand old vacation. Y'all always been on vacation since existence. So I don't think why you I don't know why y'all think y'all about to get an extension when the time comes. That's not how that works. Everybody got a price to sit up there and pay. It'd be like that. Like I said, I can sit up there and hold my L's. Can you though? That's the main question for all of those white folks out there that are Christian, Catholics, Bible believers. Can you actually hold that L when the time comes? Because you ain't gonna be able to run from that. You're not gonna be able to blackify that. Like, oh, but God, Jesus, the stats, the blacks, the 1350, the crime stats, Democrat run cities, Africa, Chicago, Atlanta, Watts. There's not going to be enough of that to be able to save you. It's going to be curtains. It's going to be curtains. It's going to be curtains. Let me tell you. It's going to be 100% curtains. You can talk all of that mess and be as racist as you want to right now. The moment in time that you got to sit up there and pay for everything that you've done so far, I promise you're not going to make it. I promise you. I don't even care if I don't even make it to heaven myself. My only wish is to be able to watch all of those that ain't gonna be making it, especially y'all, especially the white folks. I want to be right there, front row seat. I want to be able to see each and every one of y'all faces, and I want to see every single thing that you've done to negatively impact people on this planet, especially to Black Americans. I don't care about nothing else. You can throw me in limbo for the next 10,000 years. I'm completely fine. As long as I can sit up there and see and watch y'all not make it, I'm good. I'm going to be sitting up there sipping on those tears. I'm going to have a nice chair of clouds. Let me tell you, it's going to be a hilarious moment. It is going to be a hilarious moment. Like I said, I don't need to be in heaven or hell. They can abandon me for all I care. Let me have that moment. That's all I care about. And I mean that 1000%. That will, for me, that is heaven. Because you and I both know who it is that you are and what it is that you've accomplished and done. And it ain't nothing good. Again, as I stated before, because I saw somebody in the comment section sit up there and tell me, what did I do? The son has to pay for the father's sins. It's that simple. What else needs to realistically be said? If you know your history, know the things that your bloodline and your people have specifically done, why do you think that you're going to get a free pass because you feel that you're so far away from it? Nah, you're right there. DNA. What are we talking about? Like I said, that's all I care about. I'm good. I am 1000% good. Like I said, I mean every single word, because people don't understand when I say something, I 1000% mean it. I mean it with all of the love for the white people out there. When I say these things to you, I mean this with all of the love in my heart that I have for you. I'm going to be right there with you, not holding your hand, but I'm going to be right there with you with my nice cold glass of tears on whatever heavenly clouds that they got. Or even if I got to pull a rock from earth, I'm going to be right there sitting for the rest of eternity, watching each and one of y'all get denied entry into heaven, the same heaven that you thought was specifically for you. That is my heaven right there. I don't even need to pass through the gates. I don't even care about going. I just know you ain't gonna be there. Woo, diabolical. Anyways, my bad, I cracked myself up. Let's continue back on to this video here.
All supporters of President Trump, see the MAGA hats. President Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf live for us in Diamond Bar, and Matthew.
My bad. I gotta actually. My bad. I gotta sit up there and I gotta highlight this. You said I'm racist. I mean, whatever. What else you got for me? I mean, I give me something better, because that's all y'all keep coming up here with. Y'all be like, oh, you're racist. You're racist. You know, let me know. Let me know. Like I said, you said I'm racist though. Ain't this you? Ain't this you that just said that? Do those guys on the ground have crack in their mouths? You talking about for the George Floyd or the Trayvon Martin challenge? So magically, in your dim-witted dodo brain, you automatically think that every single. I know that you got to be like in your late 50s to your 60s and 70s. I know that. For you to just automatically, the only drug that you can think of is crack. I know what era you're specifically from, and that's sad. Like I said, the moment in the time for who is this? Dan O'Mac. Cool, no problem. However it basically works, I don't even know realistically who you are. But the moment in time, I hope that I get like a premonition or a dream or a sighting of whenever the Grim Reaper is basically at your door. I want to be there. I want to specifically be there so you can see me and know that I outlived you. That's where I'm at. That's the type of time that I'm specifically on at this moment in time. Like I said, I'm not going to sit up there and fight hate with hate. I'm not going to sit up there and do that. I'm showing you love because I'm going to be there as you walk directly through that dark door, right? Because I care that much. What happens to you in your spirit? I need to know what's going to happen. What's going to go on behind the scenes, right? It's diabolical. Diabolical. Like I said, to any other folks directly out there that want to come up here and showcase, I don't know what I have to do on this plane of existence to be able to be notified when everything is said and done, whenever the Grim Reaper is basically there. If I can be there on that journey and walk, I will be directly there. I wanna be able to just write down everything. I want to have the deepest insight. I want to see all of your tears. I want to witness you basically coming clean from all of the things that you've done, because you're going to have to do it, and you will do it, and it's still not going to help you shed off that horrendous weight that you have from the generations upon generations upon generations upon generations of evil that you have committed against Black Americans and many other folks directly out here. But like I said, I want to be with you on that journey, though. I want to be, right there walking with you, because Jesus ain't gonna walk with you, so I'll be right there with you. I'll be the next best thing. I'll be the next best thing. You know, somebody said, you can deal with the Grim Reaper. I'll be walking with Jesus Christ. I mean, a hit dog will holler. I don't even know what's specifically happening. I'm not even sure who Elrod Jenkins is, because I could have sworn I specifically stated I was talking to a specific group of people, right? And I'm literally talking to the people that want to come through and troll, and they want to be racist and everything of that sort, directly on my channel. But then other people want to sit up there and tell me that they're going to be walking with Jesus. Why do you got to notify me of that? If you're sure that you're going to be walking directly with Jesus, you don't got to tell nobody nothing. Just like you don't got to tell me who it is that you specifically believe directly in. That is your own private information. Your relationship with God or your religion or your creator is specifically that private information. It is that private. I don't need to know nothing. You know? Oh, so here we go. Now you said, and yet the blacks to this day are the ones being the most evil to their own. Let's not even talk about how things are in Africa. I'm not, the correlation. That's like me sitting up there saying it's like the whites still to this day are being so evil to their own. Let's not even talk about Europe and Australia. Do you see how stupid that is? Do you understand how stupid that sounds? I'm assuming that you automatically have a connection over there in Europe and that you're over there with those people. Just like you're assuming that automatically have a connection over there with people in Africa. I don't. I'm Black American. Better yet, let me just clarify, I'm American. So it's a little bit baffling to me when you folks want to pull directly up here and state all of this, type of nonsense. And then on top of that, you want to pull back in the scene and you want to be like, oh, so now you're calling folks racist, hypocrite. Are you the most dumbass fucking person that I've run into at this moment in time during this live stream? Are you that dense? Are you that dumb? Is your brain that diluted that you cannot conceptualize what it is that I stated directly to you? In reality, that I'm talking directly to the racists directly out here, but you want to protect the racists, right? Just like you probably want to protect the Geppettos out here, right? Crazy work out here, right? The same people that do the crimes against family and white communities, you probably protecting them as well too, huh? Just like you probably protecting the same men that's going after animals without their consent, right? See how I can sit up there and layer stuff on that don't really have nothing to do with the conversation that specifically I'm talking about, but yet it still technically has to do with a problem. It's crazy how that works. It's crazy how that works. Diabolical in nature. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Somebody said that I don't like facts. Do we got to do this again? Hold on. Wait a minute. Give me a second. I don't feel like breaking this apart again. Oh dear God. I really gotta do this. I don't even feel like doing this again. So because we got to sit up there and get stupid, and I love getting stupid on a lot of cases. Like I said, when people want to go low, we're going to hell. So that's currently where we're going. I don't care how many times you're telling me you're going to be walking with Jesus. There is no God here for you at this moment in time during this live stream. Let me tell you, because there he is not going to be here to sit up there and save you. So what we're going to commonly do here, because we have two idiots that want to pull up to the scene, and they want to specifically talk about, Black Americans, and they want to start, oh, the crime this and the crime that and crime with a baseball cap, black, 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 right? So what we're going to do, right? Because we got classic Dan, Lieutenant Dan, directly up here, that decided they want to say some nonsense, right? So now we got to go through these stats again. So for those out there who've already heard me go through these stats, my apologies. But we got dummies out here, so it's time to get dumb. So the FBI static, right? So they said that the murder rate when it deals with black people, right? We got that, no problem, holding that L, right? So Caucasian is 44.7%, black and African American is 52.6%, right? No problem, I can hold that L. Now, when it deals with a grape, now I want people to be very smart. For the intelligent people, I don't gotta explain this to you, but for the dumb, deaf, and ill in the background, I need you to understand when we say grape, we're clearly paraphrasing, right? We're clearly paraphrasing. So what is said with that is Caucasian 67.6%. Why is that? Black and African American 29.1%. White folks, what's going on? Because y'all wanted to do this whole thing dealing with stats though, right? And I'm pretty sure I know somebody's going to pull up to the scene talking about per capita. You can miss me with that. I don't even care. You can miss me with that. And I'm going to go back to the shooting incidences that have literally taken place within weeks of each other. So again, you can miss me with that. All of those type of scare tactics y'all been talking about, black folks, like, oh, beware of the blacks. They sit up there and shoot, they loot, and all this other type of, yeah. How has that gotten y'all so far? All of those scare tactics. How well has that worked out? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying anything incorrect or wrong. I'm just saying, out of all of the things negative that you've always consistently stated about black people, how has that worked out for y'all over the last few weeks? That's all I'm saying, right? So when it deals with robbery, right? Black, right? Caucasian. So the numbers for Caucasian is 43.4%, black and African American 54.5%, right? So that's another L, no problem. So we got murder, we got robbery, no problem. So now we got aggravated assault. White, Caucasian, 62.8%. Black and African American, 33.3%. Burglary, Caucasian, 68.4%. Black and African American, 29.1%. Larceny theft, Caucasian, 69%. Black and African American, 27.7%. Motor vehicle theft, Caucasian, 66%. Black and African American, 30.7%. Arson, Caucasian, 72%. Black and African American, 23.3%. Violent crime, that's shocking to me because I thought it was the blacks, right? Violent crime, Caucasian, 59%. Black and African American, 37.5%. Property crime, Caucasian, 68.7%. Black and African American, 28.1%. Other assaults, Caucasian, 65.2%. Black and African American, 31.4%. Forgery and counterfeiting, Caucasian, 65.5%. Black and African American, 31.9%. And that's just the first portion. That's just the first portion. Just saying. Just completely saying. Let me see. What was it? You said the 2/3, right? So we're going with the stats. What I like to normally sit up there and say is that I fit directly within a statistic of not having a father, directly in the home. But then when we look at all of your other statistics where it says that it'll lead to X, Y, and Z in prison and gangs and drugs and streets and robbing and ripping and running, yeah, that falls flat. So it's like you got one directly on the board, but everything else as a black American male, all the other stats that you got, which you say lead directly from that. I've never done any of those things. Never been in a gang, don't have gang tattoos. Police don't even know my name. Never been ripping and running through the streets of Detroit. Never sold. I got to go with the classic because this is what the whites, like. I never sold crack cocaine, right? Never did anything, never even sold weed, right? And that's the premium, that everybody, likes to smoke directly out here of all races. Right? Never, held a gun. Color me surprised directly on that. Matter of fact, I never even drank or smoked. Color me surprised directly, on that. What else do we got directly out of here? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that you can list something negative that's supposed to happen, but yet I'm here. Again, never been in jail and prison either, but I don't know. It's crazy work, but it'd be like that. Anyways, um, the craziest part is I love when people want to rewrite reality, and this is what white people are pretty good at. And I want people to understand this, right? I'm putting this comment up here to showcase the proof of what I always talk about. When, as a black American male, when I state something, right, I state it straightforward. I didn't make any mistakes. But this person decided to interpret it by saying that, oh, so you're basically agreeing that it's a good thing that such and such amount of kids don't have a father. Who said that? Who said that? Where at any point in time did I sit up there and say that? Like, again, you can't even stay directly on the point. What are we doing here? We can't even have a logical discussion. We can't even have a conversation because you want to sit up there and move the goalpost somewhere else. Because now, when I tell you that I'm a statistic, as you state, right now, and I'm telling you all the things that I've never done, now all of your points are falling flat. You don't know where to go. So now you're running and scurrying, and now you're like, oh, but so now you're saying that it's good that, all of these other black kids don't have. I never said that. Are you dumb? Like, what? Like, are we in the book of mice and men? Like, what are we doing right now? Like, what realistically are we doing right now? But anyways, I don't know where you get 66% from, because the craziest part is, let me again, I gotta keep doing this. Shout out to my boy Big Mike, to Mr. Roosevelt, shout out to my boy Chris, Mr. Thomas, shout out to my boy Pookie and them, and their dad. I don't know the last name, but I know the dad. Shout out to my girl Ashley out there and her father, who served directly in the military and he is retired. Who else that I know directly? Or shout out to my boy L Train and his. Like I said, I can name, and like unlike you, I've grown up around black folks, and I've seen two-parent households. I've seen fathers there and existing. Right. I've even seen stepfathers. So, it's crazy to me to see somebody such as you roll up to the scene and want to bring up some ridiculous ass stat when I know that you ain't never been in the black community at all. You didn't grow up around black people. Black family is not a part of anything that you are at this moment in time. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that I know more black people than you've ever known, both online and in real life. And going to school and eating and had dinners and Thanksgivings and holidays. So it's crazy to me, even within my own family, right? My uncles are fathers to their children, right? Regardless of whatever disagreements that I may have directly with them. Like I said, my Uncle Mike, he's a father to all 5 to 6 of his kids directly out there. My Uncle Tony, he's a father to his son Sean. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, I can sit up there and keep going. But like I said, y'all don't understand any of those things. But what I do realize and know is that you have a lot of white men out here that run away from their responsibilities, right? So on one end, you want to sit up there and talk about, black men running away from responsibilities. Okay, cool, no problem. Let me just hold that L, right? No problem. I got that L. I'm holding it close to the vest of the chest. But let's talk about the fact that a lot of white men run away with their responsibilities by way of divorce, by way of getting rid of the whole family. Let's talk about that. Or you don't want to talk about that, statistically speaking, because there's a lot of videos up here that I have of white women talking about white men and how it is that y'all do them dirty when it deals with marriage, relationships, and kids. How y'all run away from y'all responsibilities. How you reject your responsibilities. How you ignore your responsibilities. how you're a there and not there father, meaning you're there in a physical sense, but when it deals with the love and the compassion and the upbringing and raising of the child, you're nowhere to be seen. You put all of that weight on the white mother of the house, and that goes to her breaking down because she's already going through a postpartum distress or whatever it is, right? Postpartum, and you're putting all of that weight on her because it's supposed to be her responsibility. She's supposed to be in the kitchen. She's supposed to deal with the house. You just want to sit up there and come home after 12 hours, and you want to send a lazy boy and knock back a couple of beers, or you want to go to the bar. You want to do this, you want to do that. You want to sit up there and go to the strip club, or you want to go out there in the streets at 2 to 3, and you want to pick up a woman and be in a car with her. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff that y'all do that y'all don't want to highlight and talk directly about. Why it is that you are so fixated on black men. That's crazy work. It's diabolical. So you said that you're going to compare divorce to black men and run away from fatherhood. I'm comparing the fact that you said that you got, right, in one instance, black men run away from responsibilities, right? No problem. Cool. And I'm showcasing the fact that you got white men that run away from their responsibilities as well. It don't matter if they're married or not. Running away from your responsibilities is running away from your responsibilities. I'm not sure how you can't get that. But I understand how you can't get that because you don't want to focus in on specifically what's taking place. Matter of fact, I'll just put it like this, right? The CDC themselves, CDC is white, right? I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that. CDC is white, just like the FBI, CIA, government, white. The CDC said themselves, and I did a video on this, that said that black men, black American men, are both in and around their children's lives more than any other race and grouping of men in the United States, since you want to talk about stats. And if you're going to ask me specifically for those stats, I'm going to reply back by telling you to look it up the exact same way that I looked it up when I decided to do a video directly on those numbers and those stats, because for whatever reason, white men wanted to inundate my channel by trying to say that they're more fatherly than black men. And I'm like, yeah, no, actually, you're not. You're not. But like I said, it'd be like that, though. So, but hold on. So now you wanna bring up the pandemic, but that's your fault. This is what I'm sitting up there. This is what I'm trying to inform you, right? The government doesn't have anything to gain by putting out any positive information about black men. They don't have anything to gain. Nobody's going to clap for them. They're not going to be inundated with more money from the black community. They gain nothing from that. So that lets you know about that information right there. Because even still to this day, the CDC ain't getting nothing about that information. You said that I'm about to hit you with what? You said that I'm about to hit you with global warming affects black people more. Um, no. But I will sit up there and tell you that the earth heating up is affecting white people more. That's a fact that you can't run away from. For whatever reason, a lot of white folks out here, it's seemingly enough, y'all are sun intolerant. Y'all allergic. I don't know what it is. I don't know how specifically that's working. But the heating up of the earth and the sun is tearing y'all up. And statistically, when it deals with cancer, that's already been proven. So, if we want to sit up there and talk about facts, we can look at cancer rates directly out here. You got it. Like y'all got that one running away. This is why y'all sit up there and use the SPF. And this is why when you put it under a filter, it's actually black instead of white. That's crazy that you got a cream that appears white, but it goes on black. How that work? That it goes on 3 different transitions. In a bottle, it's white. When you put it directly on your skin, it's clear. But underneath a filter, if the sun were to look directly at you, it would appear as if you got melanin. Ain't that something? That's diabolical in nature. I thought people said they were proud to be who it is that they are. In all of your glory, show that directly to the sun. Count Dracula, Vlad the Impaler, show that directly to the sun. That's some crazy work out here. That is diabolical. I guess Mercury is talking to me. You said, what's the independently verified sources that you're getting your percentages from? So let me repeat again. That is from the FBI. You can go look it up yourself. I done did this for so many years. I'm still confused how everybody has a supercomputer directly in front of them at this, because I know that by majority, by the percentages, about close to 60% of the people that view my channel are on cell phones. The later percentages are on computers and laptops and tablets and all that other type of stuff. So I know a lot of y'all right now are peering through me and listening to me by way of a cell phone. Use that same cell phone. I know you got a Samsung or iPhone. Y'all got supercomputers. Do a split screen, a half and half screen, and start looking up some stats. Go directly to the FBI. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, I'm confused. Like, how do you get so lost every single time that I got white people showing up to the scene talking about, like, oh, where are the verified? Go to the FBI. If that's not verified enough for you, I don't know what to tell you, because God ain't going to tell you nothing. You just going to find out when it's the end of the road. Shout out to Boys to Men. That's when you're going to sit up there and find out the real stats. That's when you're going to find out those real numbers. Numbers going to be up here looking like Justin Timberlake's lifespan. It's going to be looking ridiculous. And I'm talking about, if people didn't catch that, I'm talking about from the movie where time was basically life, right? But anyways, you know, D Money said black people actually, yo, what's up, D Money? You said black people actually need about 2 to 3 hours of sun per day. Yeah, that's true. Yo, Deacon, what is up? What is up? What is up? Much love and appreciation for the $2 dono directly to the channel. Said, keep up the good work, brother. We'll do. We'll do as always. Either in video form or in live stream form. We will be here. Let me tell you. But like I said before, to a lot of the white folks out here, this is what I want y'all to know. Everything that I tell you, it more than likely is going to hurt. It's going to make you feel, uncomfortable. Because that's what the truth is. It is highly uncomfortable. It's going to make your butt itch. It's going to make you fidget. You're going to try to find another position so that you can, palate all of the things that you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to do it. And there's not a way to do it. There's not a way to sugarcoat any of this. You can't put any type of whipped cream or cream cheese directly on this and make it taste good. It's just not going to happen. Like I said, people are just going to have to sit up there and deal with what it is. And for a lot of the trolls that come directly up here, somebody said murder stats. I showcased that directly up here. That's if you look directly, hold on, let me take down a banner real quick, right? If you look directly above, when it deals with murder, I said that before. I said I hold that L, right? I'm being a representative, right? I'm a black man reading off the stats. No problem. I'm holding that L, right? When it deals with the robbery, no problem. Holding that L. But that's 2 out of this one portion of the list here. It's funny how people are silent on all of those things, especially the grape factor. That's diabolical in nature. I ain't seen not nearly a white man wanted to address any of that though. But y'all wanted to, per capita, the stats, the murder, the this, the that, the shootings, Chicago, trillions of people just died. Right? That's crazy. It's diabolical in nature. But no problem. We want to sit up there and keep going directly with that. Was that the same one? Let me see. Let me just make sure. Hold on. Okay, so I put the same one up there twice. Hold on. Let me take that down and go back. And I think, let me see, what is that? That's 18. It's 27. I think it should be that one. Okay, there we go. So now this is the next portion, right? So let me zoom this directly in for y'all. I took down a banner so people can see it. The top part is what again? It's fraud. Nobody cares about that, but Yeah, I'm gonna put the banner back up on that one. I'm gonna put the banner back up on that one. So let's go directly over to fraud. It said fraud Caucasian at 67%, Black and African American 30.5%, embezzlement Caucasian 61.4%, Black and African American 35.5%, stolen property buying, receiving, possession Caucasian 64.2%. Black and African American 33.4%, vandalism Caucasian 68%, 68.4%, Black and African American 28.1%, weapon carrying, possessing, etc. Caucasian 55.9%, Black and African American 41.8%, prostitution and commercialized vices Caucasian 55.5%, Black and African American 37.9%, sex offenses Caucasian at a staggering 71.6%, Black and African American 24.7%, drug abuse violations Caucasian 71.6%, Black and African American 26.7%, gambling is Black, and the stat for Caucasian is 45%, Black and African American 48.4%. So on the boards, murder, robbery, gambling, Black. Oh, right. I'm holding those 3 L's. No problem. Holding those 3 L's. Right. So next after that, we have offenses against the family and children. Caucasian at a staggering 67.1%. Staggering. Diabolical numbers. Black and African American 29.1%. Driving under the influence. Caucasian at a staggering 82.2%. Black and African American 13.6%. Liquor laws, Caucasian at a staggering 79.2%, Black and African American 14.5%. Right? So we're able to see those numbers directly up there, right? It's crazy work. Diabolical. Deacon said, what about the white men? Oh no, that's directly up there. It's the where did it go? Let me see. If you look towards for Deacon, if you look towards the bottom where it says offenses against the family and children, it's right there, 67.1%. You know, just saying. Has somebody else basically saying how much crime people are sitting up there doing. And the main point that I said at the end of the day is that when it deals with crime within proximity, Black people are sitting up there doing stuff, right? Apparent. Cool, no problem. Again, we sat up there and saw the stats. I'm holding that L, no problem. When it deals with white people committing crimes against themselves, for some odd reason, y'all never like to talk about that or list that, or you try to minimize it by saying, well, it's not as bad as the Blacks. No, it's bad. It's still bad. Like there's no way to lighten the load directly on that. You got to hold that L, regardless on if you do or do not. Like I said, and if you don't at this moment in time, again, as I stated before, shout out to the original story of Bane, where the son had to pay for the father's sins. So, like I said, that's going to be y'all. You're going to be paying for the father's sins because you don't want to pay attention to specifically what it is that y'all do directly out here. It'd be like that though. 1000%. Next, again. Let me see, is that the closest one? And then we got the final one. Right? Drunkenness, Caucasian, staggering at a 76.5%, Black and African American, 14.7%. Disorderly conduct, Caucasian, 63.3%, Black and African American, 32.2%. Vagrancy, Caucasian at a staggering 66%, Black and African American, 30.7%. All other offenses, staggering, Caucasian, 69.2%, Black and African American, 27.4%. Suspicion, Caucasian at 35%, Black and African American, 30.7%. Curfew and loitering law violations, Caucasian at 56.3%, Black and African American at 40.7%. So again, that was the FBI stats there. Regardless on if you want to disagree with it or not, again, go to the FBI site and look it up for yourselves. I'm pretty sure you can probably get the 2025 stats, possibly at this moment in time, because I think I had a few 2025 excuse me, a few 2025 stats for a previous live stream, but it'd be like that though. It'd be like that. And again, like I said before, y'all keep doing the whole per capita. Like, do you not look directly at the stats that are given by way of the FBI? How do you think that they add all of these things together and then go by the columns? They go by the cities and the states, add them bad boys directly up, put them bad boys directly in the columns for the whole of the stats. Just saying. Fatal Expectation said, "What is your argument?" Actually, I don't have an argument. It's just the fact that people wanted to talk about numbers, and for whatever reason, anytime people talk about black folks, they're like, "Oh, it's the blacks. They're doing all the crimes all across the United States. It's always the blacks, only the blacks." And I'm like, okay, well, let's see what the FBI has to say directly about that. And I'm like, well, that does not seem to be the case. You know, just saying. Let me see. I think I might have spelled that one wrong. I'm trying to look for something real quick. Dun, dun. Lord have mercy. My bad. I'm looking in the background. Give me a second. I should have put in. Let me see. Okay. So for a question, right? So for the white guys directly up here, I'm just trying to look for an answer directly on this, and it's cool if you want to give me the per capita directly on this, right? Because you guys are always knowledgeable in all of this stuff when it deals with numbers, right? Um, what is the specific per capita on this information here for the white guys in the room? Somebody said Father's Day. I mean, that's a tired joke. The crazy thing is, like I said before, I know who my father is, but I mean, whatever. Pop off because you think that you actually know something. But pop off on these stats too. When it deals with the animality out here in these streets. But let me know how that works out. Let me know how that works out. For any of the white men that always want to talk about per capita, let me know the per capita when it deals with these stats and how it is that y'all like to be real cuddly and buddy buddy with animals. This is why we don't have Yogi the bear no more because y'all scared him. You know, the ranger was doing some things behind the scenes. This is why we don't got Yogi out there no more. This is why we don't got Magilla Gorilla, out there no more. Just saying. I'm just trying to figure this out. Don't get silent. Don't get shameful now. Be prideful. As prideful as some of y'all wanted to be, as racist as y'all could be, listen to all types of stereotypes, all types of numbers. Give me something. Let me know. Oh, you said I'm obfuscating. That's some crazy work directly. I'm playing the same game that y'all like to play, right? This is what y'all like to sit up there and do, right? Y'all like to sit up there and move the goalposts, right? Y'all like to sit up there once one thing gets talked about and you don't know what to say, y'all want to move it somewhere else, right? So we're playing the same game, right? Isn't this what y'all normally do? Because this literally happened to me earlier when I listed that I was statistic, but when it deals with all the other negative stats that you want to bring up, where you talk about black males leading to crime, the jails, the prison, gangs, criminality, violence, and murder. Yeah, I never did none of that. Clean record. So yeah, that falls flat. And then somebody wanted to start, shucking and jiving, and they wanted to move on to something else. So like I said, we playing the same game here, right? We playing the same game, right? Ain't that what it is? It's just one big game. We all, just having fun, throwing shots. Pow. Right? We're just doing that big thing, right? Yo, what's up, Nikki? What is going on? What is going on? Gail Jones said, that's the first time in a while that I actually said her full name. Gail said, gainfully employed. Keywords. What is that? I'm just gonna say Harley. So you said that. What'd you say? You said we love and know who our dads are too. I'm not sure who you might be responding to on that one. Yeah, Dan. Yeah, Dan. Especially. I mean, yeah, he probably did. That's normally how it goes. Normally, when those FBI stats start coming up, and I start going directly through those, and it doesn't pan out how people think that it was going to pan out. Yeah, but the crazy part is you got people that still bring up per capita. I'm like, how are you going to per capita the stats when it deals with the crimes committed against the family? How are you going to per capita that? How are you going to per capita the whole thing dealing with rape? Like, what are we talking about? How are you going to per capita the whole thing dealing with DUIs and all this other stuff? Y'all got the most vehicles directly out here on the roadways. Like, what are we talking about? You're not like what are we doing? Like, this is how dog, like I said, it's annoying. It gets to the point where it's just like it's ultra annoying to have to keep going over like numbers and stats, and then people want to try to move the goalpost around and all this other type of stuff. It's crazy. It's 100% diabolical. But like I said, it be like that though. But like I said, all of the white dudes, they're just like dipping out now. Numbers are dropping directly in the live stream because again, once this starts popping directly up on the scene, it's like people start getting real quiet. I'm like, why is that? Why is it when it gets to this point, that's when people want to shut up? People don't want to say nothing. Like people just like they out of here. That's crazy. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know who that dude is talking about. Tyler. I don't even know who that dude is even talking about. There's nobody named Tyler here. Oh wait. Okay. I see what backup is talking about. I got you. It took me a minute. I had to read back through the comments. I got you. I got you, backup. I see what you're talking about. I see what you're talking about. I'm not denying no unbearable truth. Like the craziest part is I quote unquote as a representative, I'm like, yo, I'm holding these three L's directly up there. Cool, no problem. and that still doesn't dawn directly on you, right? Even with the things that I even listed directly with that previously. But you're still trying to press this point as if we're trying to hide something. Like that's crazy to me. That's diabolical. Like y'all really so stupid. Y'all are so deaf, dumb, and blind that y'all still can't see past all of this. But like I said, this is why I still, dibble and dabble and play these games. Because like I said, a lot of people directly out here, they just gonna be left. And it be like that at the end of the day. like I said, everybody ain't here to. You can't save everybody. And like and the funniest part is these be the same people who sit up there and say that they love and support the animals. But yeah, when you bring up these stats on who's doing this, and then you can actually look up these numbers, and these numbers are crazy. Silence. Like I said, I understand why you got man's best friend. I get it now. I get it. But anyways, let's go back to the video that I was supposed to be playing, which is this one.
Those Trump flags staying up tonight.
Yeah, those flags staying up. This family still supports Donald Trump despite their mom being detained. The final moments home for an Iranian woman detained by immigration agents.
Thank you.
A mother Monday going inside to say bye to her 4 kids.
She came and kissed the kids and that was it. That's the last time I saw her.
A proud President Trump supporting family in Diamond Bar.
Election time was here. I had a full 3-4 flags out.
Even while their mom faces immigration questions. Has your opinion changed on this?
That's a good question. Somewhat it has. Just because I'm going through it. I was very selfish before. But what I see right now is, okay, there's a reason for it.
Arthur Sahakian's wife, Arpaneh, was born in Iran and moved to the United States when she was 3 as a refugee.
She cashed a check, I believe it was less than $200, and this is all where it started.
Then, about 15 years ago, her green card was revoked over a conviction related to theft.
It's all misdemeanor stuff.
Arthur says they've been going through the legal process towards regaining citizenship with check-ins every 6 months or so.
She just went in April, and they said, okay, you're fine, have a good day. We'll see you back in September or October.
Then last week, the United States bombed 3 nuclear sites in Iran, increasing tensions and concerns of Iranian sleeper cells retaliating in the U.S.
I'm very for of them seeing the Iranian nationals because of the sleeper cells. I understand that.
Federal sources tell Fox News that more than 130 Iranian nationals were detained in the U.S. this last week.
I think it will resolve a lot of issues because we all know exactly who's in here for what reasons. Even though I miss her dearly, but I think we could do a better job of you catch someone you see they're national and do a background real quick and see if they have ties to the community and ties to families over here and let them go.
What do you think's going to happen?
I'm on the list to be going to a different facility.
Arpaneh speaking with us on the phone, uncertain about her future. Any regrets with your vote?
None. Still supporting him.
While her family continues showing support for President Trump, hoping their mom comes home soon.
Trump is not trying to do anything bad. We understand what he's doing, and he wants the best for the country.
And John, a little bit of brother. So this is that whole family. The woman is a Trump supporter and had theft, and she's Iranian. And they got her up out of here. This is, like I said, people bring on their own demise. Like I said, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. You're an immigrant and you came here and you committed a crime and you thought that you were going to be forgotten. Oh, ICE got you, brother. They got you. And then he was like, yeah, I understand. Like, there are Iranian sleeper cells. It's over. Brother, you lucky they don't sit up there and pack up the whole family. You still sitting up here talking about some, I still, support Trump and this is, brother, you're doing it to yourself. You and your wife got your wife caught up. You and your wife are the reason why your kids are sitting up here crying at this moment in time. That's some diabolical work. How do you do that? And you still sitting up here smiling, talking about like basically you made the right choice. Dog, your wife is gone. You're probably never seeing her again. You've made yourself a single father, a single parent, raising all of those kids. You did it to yourself. Like, this is insane. You're talking about they just need to do a better job. Well, maybe you should have did a better job on voting. How about that one? Maybe you should have did a better job voting and supporting for people that would have probably protected your own best interest. Because obviously the party that you voted for did not care about your own best interest. And they got you. And like I said, you were the fool or fools that decided that, hey, we're going to sit up there and go out there and steal something. That's crazy. Who told you to do that? Why on God's green earth would you come into somebody else's country after fleeing and running from yours? and the first thing that you decide to do is commit an act and steal. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, are you stupid? You've brother. Anyways, I'm sorry. We're gonna continue on to the next clip here. I'm gonna let y'all hear this one. Hold on, let me just rewind this just a little bit. All right, there we go.
Again, he wants the best for the country.
And John, a little bit of security news for you off the top here. Just a short time ago, we got an update from the Arizona Department of Public Safety confirming that the man who showed up on site here yesterday and was arrested armed with a gun and pretending to be law enforcement has now been charged with a felony. According to AZDPS, his name is Joshua Runkles, and he has now been charged with felony impersonation of law enforcement as well as misdemeanor carrying a weapon into a prohibited space. They're now investigating what his intentions were here, looking into his background and trying to figure out if there were any sinister motives as to why he would show up on site and pretend to be part of the security plan here when he very clearly wasn't. Joshua Runkles has since been released on bond. As we get more details, we'll update our viewers. Also working on getting his mugshot. In the meantime, this is going to be a huge ceremony tomorrow. Glendale PD telling Fox News they wouldn't be surprised if upwards of 100,000 people show up to memorialize Charlie Kirk. Now, the arena behind.
So explain that to me, right? To the white folks that's in here, I want y'all to explain it to me. Why would this white man? These are all Republicans. Ain't no Democrats there, right? 99.9% Republicans are going to the memorial, right? And again, it already happened, right? But I'm talking in past tense. All Republicans are pretty much going to be there. Explain to me why this white man with tattoos on his face in a heavenly receding hairline. Explain to me why he would pull up to the scene, fake to be law enforcement, and to have a weapon with live ammunition. I need some white folks in the background to let me know that. Like, is he black in disguise? You know, is it more than meets the eye? Like, what am I missing here? Is this a black man doing whiteface? Like, what specifically is going on here? And again, as they stated, what was his specific motive to try to parade around as if he was law enforcement and to have a weapon with live ammunition during a funeral service? I'm just wondering, because I'm starting to, it's like it's more and more of this stuff happening. I'm just asking. You said, where is the news article? Did it divulge the guy's political leanings? Show us that. Go look it up. I didn't look for no political. I said that he was at the Charlie Kirk memorial thing that was going on. He tried to fake as though that he was police and he had a weapon directly on him. I don't care if he's left or right or independent. I'm asking a very simple question. White people, why is that white man with these tattoos and this heavenly receding hairline that he got? Why was he at that memorial service with a live weapon parading around and acting as if he was law enforcement and he's not? That's a simple question. That's a simple question. You talking about what's his political affiliation? It don't matter what his affiliation is. It does not matter what the affiliation is. You got a person here that obviously does not mean well for other human beings. Is it that hard to comprehend? Like, are people that dense? Like, dog, like if y'all can't sit up there, man, y'all so lost, man. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You said go look it up. Show us where it said that instead of hiding behind ad hominems. Dog, go look it up. I can talk and speak how it is that I want. This is my live stream. What are you talking about? You are clearly on a cell phone at this moment in time, still typing away, keyboard warrior. 90s area Warcraft. You can go type this up and look this up specifically for yourself. But Sean, when you a grown ass man and you can't sit up there and type this up, use your thumbs, get the dancing, move around. Like, what are we talking about? That's some crazy work. This man said, activate the trap card. That's diabolical. Man, that is diabolical. Nikki said they trying to project who they are on us. Miss Brown, what is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Said one of the news stations stated that we were hoping that he wasn't one of ours. That's diabolical. I'm not sure if you're reading the room right now at this moment in time. You're getting on my moderator's nerves. I'm trying to let you know I'm very cordial. I'm very nice and polite. You know, I try to have conversations. As I stated before, again, this is me in a newer form trying to become a better person. My moderators, on the other hand, they're not so nice. They have very short patience every day. So, like I said, you keep sitting up there, keep trying to do this. If you go directly to the shadow realm, it is directly on you. I don't got nothing to do with that. But like I said before, you can clearly sit up there and look it up for yourself the same way that I gather and get information before I go and do live streams and all this other type of stuff. Everybody else is free to do the exact same thing, but people choose to spend their time differently. Again, you know, this ain't no circus trick. I'm not about to go do, play fetch because you said not. That's not what we're doing. Like I said, I'm the ringleader in this bitch, and I'm hosting the tent. You better figure something out. You better figure something out, or you're gonna be out there with the penguins. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You said, so your mods silence political debates. There's no debate. You're trying to tell me to get you the proof. I don't have to get you nothing. I provided information directly from news. I mean, the funniest thing is this is from Fox News. So I don't have to really, this is Fox. I don't have to give you nothing. This is Fox News, right? This is the most factual news directly out there on the planet, right? Right? So I don't got to provide you nothing. You can go up there on the Fox News website and get any and everything that you need to sit up there and get to your heart's content, to your heart's desire. You can go up there. I was kind enough to sit up there and get these videos and put captions up. Fox News ain't doing that. I put up nice little captions so you can actually read along and see all of that, just in case you got some poor vision and all that type of stuff. I was nice enough to do that. And you're ungrateful. Ungrateful swine. Let me tell you. Ungrateful. It'd be like that, though. Well, let's continue.
Pretending to be law enforcement has now been charged with a felony. According to AZDPS, his name is Joshua Runkles, and he has now been charged with felony impersonation of law enforcement, as well as misdemeanor carrying a weapon into a prohibited space. They're now investigating what his intentions were here, looking into his background and trying to figure out if there were any sinister motives as to why he would show up on site and pretend to be part of the security plan here when he very clearly wasn't. Joshua Runkles has since been released on bond. As we get more details, we'll update our viewers. Also working on getting his mugshot. In the meantime, this is going to be a huge ceremony tomorrow. Glendale PD telling Fox News they wouldn't be surprised if upwards of 100,000 people show up to memorialize Charlie Kirk. Now, the arena behind us where the Arizona Cardinals play only seats about 60,000. So, John, we're looking at potentially tens of thousands of people into overflow. That overflow, we're told, would go into the nearby NHL arena where the Arizona Coyotes play. And then you have some of the biggest names in Republican politics coming out here to speak on Charlie Kirk's behalf. That includes President Trump, Vice President Vance, Erica Kirk, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and then several of President Trump's cabinet members, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, HHS Secretary RFK Jr., Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, DNI Tulsi Gabbard, and several other people. We also caught up with some folks who are coming from all around the country to come to this ceremony tomorrow and honor Charlie Kirk. We talked to two guys from Utah and Colorado as to why they felt it was important to make the trip to Arizona. Take a listen.
It's going to be an amazing event, one of America's greatest heroes.
As long as Charlie Kirk's name is on someone's lips, that's his legacy.
And since we've been out here in Arizona, we have been talking to people from all over the country, literally, who are making the trip here to Arizona. Just to list some of the states we've talked to, you heard Colorado and Utah there. I talked to folks last night from Pennsylvania, South Carolina. We also talked to one person who made the drive all the way out from the state of Florida.
Disaster. So you get back from the United Kingdom this week. First thing you do, talk to President Xi. It seems like you guys are getting really, really close to a deal for Americans to take over TikTok. They'll have to keep the algorithm because it's so addictive.
Right. So now we're flying into, because I got, 3 videos because I didn't feel like trying to have them separated. So we had the 2 videos, one dealing with the Iranian woman who had a theft charge directly on her, committed a crime, Trump supporter, color me surprised. And now she got, placed into immigration custody. Second video, you have a white male, don't know or care about his political affiliation. It's the fact that he's a white male going to an all-white engagement, decided that he wanted to fake as police and have a weapon directly on him with ammunition. Again, don't know what he was specifically going to do, but it seems very odd that he decided that that's what he wanted to do. And now he's arrested and in custody. So now we're touching on the area of freedom of speech and how it is that, wait, what is it? I don't even know what that person even talking about. Now we got the area of which that we got TikTok and the freedom of speech. And the craziest part is, and the thing I love about this so much is that a lot of white folks don't even understand how this is going to impact every day, because it's not going to stop at TikTok or social media or the news. It's going to be everywhere soon enough. If this is allowed, this encroaching type of thing where people are monitoring every single thing that you say, if this is allowed to continue, you're not looking at a democracy anymore. You're not. And like I said, it'd be like that. They're going to go to the highest orders when they want to do this. Wait, Ms. Brown said Joshua Runkles is a registered Republican and his voting place is Bannock County. So for anybody in the comment section that was wondering with Runkles what his political affiliation is, affiliation, I said officiation, dear Lord, affiliation is, we got Ms. Brown, who clearly did the lookup. Shout out, much love and respect to you for putting the information directly out there. So yeah, there you go. For anybody out there that want to sit up there and be like, oh, what's his political affiliation? Who really is he? And that is, what's the factual? Like I said, you got one instance where I provided you the video that you know that the person exists and what happened. And in the other instance, you got more information by Ms. Brown, who put up all the rest of the details that people said that they wanted. There you go. There you go. Again, shout out to Ms. Brown. Much love, respect, and appreciation to you and yours. But now let's continue with the video dealing with TikTok.
That's what makes it so valuable. How much money are we talking? How much are these Americans?
A tremendous amount of money.
Billions?
Oh, I'd rather have them. They're very well-known people, and Larry Ellison's one of them. He's involved. He's a great guy. Michael Dell is involved. I hate to tell you this, but a man named Lachlan is involved. You know who Lachlan is? That's a very unusual name, Lachlan Murdoch.
Mr. Murdoch.
I believe, and you call him, and Rupert is probably going to be in the group. I think they're going to be in the group. A couple of others, really great people, very prominent people, and they're also American patriots. They love this country, so I think they're going to do a really good job.
So we heard that, right? So I want people to pay attention that he's basically stating that the elites, the rich directly out there, are planning a bid or whatnot, whatever, to pretty much get TikTok. That was the whole main thing for the longest time possible. This has been like the longest standing thing where it's like China. We got to get a hold of TikTok because a lot of Americans are on there and their personal information, right? All of this stuff this is like the same thing that they were talking about during the Patriot Act and all this other type of stuff, right? Concern for the American people, but yet there's always nefarious things, directly behind the scenes. And one of the main things that's going to happen is that they know that TikTok is watched and viewed by a variety of folks directly out here. So now the government's going to be the one holding the information, right? How well has the government done with holding information? Last time I checked, we didn't had a variety of high-profile government agencies be hacked. So where are they going to host this information where it's unhackable? The government ain't really on some quantum computing type tech. So where are they going to hold this information to where it's not an issue or a problem that the dark web can't get to it? They can't. So I'm just trying to figure out if the government can't even hold on to just simple information, everyday information. If these companies can't hold on to simple information, everyday information, what makes you think that they can hold on to more important information? Like right now at this moment in time, unbeknownst to a lot of folks in this comment section, you may have your information out there amongst the dark web for the highest bidder, for even like a few, pieces of a Bitcoin or something like that. Because of all of and I've covered a lot of these hacks that have happened. You've had Walmart, you've had Target, I think Best Buy probably got hit. You got some grocery store chains that have been hit as well too. A lot of businesses over these decades, over these recent, decade has been hit. And I'm talking about you've had millions of people's information directly out there. So again, how safe is information with the United States government? Just asking a question. Just trying to figure that out. Because that's crazy to me. Like everybody that's agreeing with the United States government trying to get hold of a lot of this. And then the other thing that people don't even realize is that this now gives them the ability to really silence you. If you say something that they don't like even right now, it's still, let me see if I got that article directly up here. Hold on. I gotta take down some bookmarks real quick. I want to say I should have had Officer Haku send the article. Let me see. Do. Yeah, I could have sworn there were some news stories about them trying to go after social media. Let me see. Let me see what we got here. I'm just trying to look up some stuff real quick. But I'll probably do a solo video directly on it. But from what I was able to understand from a conversation I had with Officer Haku is the fact that you got the administration trying to go directly after different social media platforms and things of that nature. And if that is the case, you're looking at an area of which that you are no longer going to be able to have free speech. You're not going to be able to critique the government or anything that they do. Like the same thing that happens directly in China, how if you critique the government online, they will know about it, they will find you, and more than likely you will be arrested. They will more than likely pull that exact same thing here in the United States. So, like I said before, for a lot of white folks out here, when people want to think that everything is fun and games and it's not going to affect you and you don't have nothing to hide and all this other type of stuff, that's cool. Keep giving up all of your privacy. Keep giving up all your rights up until you have nothing left. And I want to see where you're going to be at. I want to see where your mind is going to be. I want to see how you really feel about the totality of all your decisions that led you up to that point where you have nothing, where you can't even say nothing. You better stay silent or you're going directly to jail. So, like I said, to a lot of white folks out there, it's like, yo, whatever comes directly in the future, this is specifically on y'all. You've enabled these things to transpire and take place. Like I said, this is why I keep talking back about the Patriot Act. This was on y'all. Y'all allowed that to take place and happen. And look where we are now. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. So now let's go to the next video.
Black men. Many people.
So this is a video. So this is going now split into a different topic because I forgot what this was. So this is split into a different topic that. Wait, do I want to go to this one yet, or was I? Yeah, I showcased that one. That one. What was this one? Oh.
Utter contempt that the right wing has.
Okay. So let me just keep it on the same page up until the next one. So now we're going to go to this next one to see what this guy has to, in a sense, say about Republicans. Again, this is a white guy, critiquing his own people. Let's see what he got to say.
Watching the utter contempt that the right wing has for Charlie Kirk, I have no other way to describe what I watched today. It was disgusting, and I did not like this guy at all.
You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing.
That's a memorial, by the way. Okay?
I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica.
A memorial, by the way. Sorry, Erica, wife of slain man I'm memorializing. I'm talking about the citizens I'm sworn to protect and serve here. I hate them. Grosser still is the inconceivable, unbelievable, shocking volume of merch his organization is churning out to capitalize on. Not in the fucking ground yet, by the way, okay? Just so that we're fucking clear. This is how they treated this also. A memorial, by the way. It looks like a juggalo encampment. What the fuck?
The house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings all hung.
I oscillate between it being the grossest shit I've ever seen about somebody who people claim to have cared about, and also the fact that he would have loved this and had done exactly the same. Grift into oblivion, he would have shouted.
So I'm looking up. I'm trying to find those T-shirts that the guy showcased. I don't see those. I'm guessing that those are like Etsy or online made. I would not be too shocked or surprised if people were making that and basically trying to say that you trying to paraphrase into like how dangerous it is to be like a free thinker and to speak the truth and things of that nature. I'm pretty sure that that's what they were trying to go for. I would say that is actually quite tasteless. As somebody said up there trying to call me earlier, tasteless and classless. Whoever actually did those shirts, because I'm trying to look for them online at this moment in time. I'm going through Etsy and things of that nature. Somebody said they will not be making Charlie Kirk merch for, let me read that. That they will not be making Charlie Kirk merch for the official Patriot gear. They said if you want a Freedom t-shirt and merch, you should go directly to that store. All right, whatever. But yeah, I couldn't specifically find the shirts that the guy had directly in the video. I would not be surprised if somebody were selling those type of shirts, again, trying to grift directly off of what it is that took place and happened. That's what a lot of people are currently doing at this moment in time, where they're grifting off of this whole thing to try to gain some type of celebrity and popularity with this because of how big it is. Because you got a lot of people that are trying to vie for attention and points and all this other type of stuff. They're trying to be the new face, for a lot of things. Like I said, it's crazy work. Also, shout out to Miss Brown said, shout out to, me and the mods and everything in that nature. Much love, much love. Nicole, Ms. Brown said specifically, the whole Freedom t-shirt. Yeah. Nicole said that merch was insane. His wife was selling it, but they took them down after getting backlash. Wow. So they were actually selling it? Ooh, that is crazy. That is diabolical. That is diabolical. That's some crazy. Wow. And the craziest part, I hate to even say this. The craziest part is I don't even think Candace Owens would even go to that extent of creating something like that. It's crazy that I have to use that as a comparison. But I swear to you that she more than likely wouldn't even do anything like that. Like I said, that's crazy to me. That somebody would opt to do anything like that. That's crazy. Woo! Jesus Christ. That was his wife that did that. Well, hey, it's all right. Like I said, I got nothing. And it's crazy how, other people didn't bring that up. Like the Republicans, the high conservatives, and this, that, and the third. It's crazy how, they didn't want to talk about that. Because I kid you not, I tried to find images of it. I probably got to go to X. I might do a solo video if I remind myself, or if I care about it enough to do. I'll probably do a solo video and I'll talk about that a bit further, and highlight that whole type of deal. Why do I got a notification on X? It's always the same thing. Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to even find it on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of digging. Let me tell you, because I'm trying to find it right now, and I am not seeing it. That is some crazy work, but I'll find it though. I will sit up there and find it. Let me tell you. But anyways, let's go to this next video, and this is a little bit of a longer one. Like I was telling y'all before, towards the end of the live stream, we're going to go over this whole thing dealing with TikTok and people talking about. I was about to say the resurrection. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Wait,
Yeah, the rapture.
I'm not laughing.
So let's take a
I'm
listen.
not trying to disrespect anybody's beliefs or anything like that. But I'm driving Uber, right? And so I had no idea that the rapture was coming. And so I picked up this couple from church, and they get in my car, and they're weeping, and I'm like, hey, hi, how you doing? Whatever, is everything okay? Because I saw like they were like not like hysterically crying, but they were like emotional, right? And so I'm like, hey, is everything okay? They were like, yeah, the Lord is coming back, Jesus is coming back tomorrow. And I was like, wait, like tomorrow? They were like, yeah, I think it's like between the 23rd and the 24th. I was like, okay. Now, when I did go to church, I just assumed, this is just me, I thought it said it didn't, they know the hour when he coming back. It's been like 2,000 years since he left, and now he's supposed to be coming back and stuff. So I don't know, it's not my lane. However, they got in the car and they were like weeping until they tell me this. And so we're talking, and they're like, well, how are you? Is everything okay in your life? Like, we're trying to donate our money because we're not going to be here. The Lord is coming back and we're going to leave, and there's still going to be people here on earth, and things are going to change. So how are you doing? I said, I'm okay, but I could always, use some help. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to turn down nothing. They were like, okay, well, we were praying and we were all in church, and the pastor, he agreed that, the Lord is coming back. And I'm thinking to myself, like, did he agree that the Lord is coming back, or did he agree that the Lord is coming back within the next 2 or 3 days? Regardless, they were like, we were just praying because we have all this money. We want to give it away. I'm here. I'm here for the coins. Give me the coins. I'm here. So they were like, we were in church and we prayed like, Lord, we're going to order this Uber, and whoever our Uber driver is, we know that this person is going to need this money. So we want to go ahead and bless them with the money. You can. So look it. So they give me like this bundle. So it's like a bundle full of cash. Now keep in mind, in this bundle, there's even coins in it, because it was like in this like cup thingy or whatever. So there's even like euros, and I see some Canadian money in here. So there's dollars, there's hundreds, there's 20s, there's fives, like there's all the denominations inside of this. So I have yet to count it up. So I'm going to count it up and come back. Hold on. Okay, so I counted the money. It turned out to be $1,915 and some change. I didn't count all the change. It was probably more. So $1,915. So that's what they gave me in person. So they were like crying, and they were like, we just want to bless you. We prayed and we asked the Lord that the Uber driver that we got, that they would actually need this, and we would bless them, because it's about to get really, really tough after Jesus comes back. Now, I don't know too much about the rapture. I mean, I learned about it, but I don't really remember. I think that if you have the Lord in your life, then you're going to be caught up to meet him. So you're going to leave, and like your clothes are going to just, we're going to go in. I guess people like me are going to go into the house and find the people that left, like find their clothes or something like that. So I don't know how it goes, but because there's some people, what if they accepted the Lord, but then they don't live right. But I don't know how it got. I don't know the details of the fine print of it, right? But what I do know is that these people gave me $1,900 today. And so when I dropped them off, they lived in a nice neighborhood. I be driving in a nice neighborhood, y'all, and I be getting the good passengers. So they live in a nice neighborhood. And so they were like, you know what? What's your Cash App? Give us your Zelle. Give us your Venmo. Give us your this. And I was like, okay, I have all of those except Apple Pay. So don't do the Apple Pay. But I do take Cash App. I do take Zelle. I do take Venmo. And I do take cash. So thank y'all for this. They were like, yeah, we want to get together, and we're having a prayer meeting tonight, and we're going to just put all our money together. We're going to give away houses. We're going to give away cars. We're giving away different things. We're just giving everything away because we won't be here. We're leaving this earth. This earth is temporary. So we want to give away all this stuff and let this be a sign to you that Jesus is real and he's coming back within the next couple of days. I was like, oh, wow. I really thank y'all, and I appreciate y'all for this generous donation. It really came in handy. And I will accept any more donations that y'all want to give me. So I left them with all my information, and I'm hoping I hear from them, because this will help out with a lot of stuff. So thank y'all. I didn't know that the rapture was coming. I didn't know what we were about to enter into, but I'm glad. And they even said warning comes before destruction. That's what they said. And I said, okay, thank y'all for blessing me with this money and more money to come. So y'all can write me off the house if y'all want to. I know it's paid off. If y'all would have started, I know their house is paid off. That's so right. I don't mind having a house in the neighborhood that they were in. I think it has an HOA to it, but if it's a paid off house, that's fine. I can find the money to pay the HOA. But yeah, I didn't know this, y'all. Nobody told me. Ain't nobody told me nothing. But I'm excited, that they're going back to meet the Lord. I don't know. I don't really know the details. Y'all don't get mad at me. I'm just saying. I don't know. I guess they're going back to meet the Lord, but the Lord is telling them to give away their stuff while they're here. And so they were very generous. They're having a prayer meeting with a whole bunch of other people that believe the same thing as them tonight, and they're getting together. So I might have a house that's paid off later on. Might have a couple more cars to sell. They might Zelle me, Venmo me, pick up an offering for me. I mean, I do need it. And since y'all gonna be gone, the house gonna be empty anyway. The car's just gonna be sitting there. The clothes, your Louis Vuitton, your Givenchy, your Gucci, it's just gonna be there. So I mean, why not give it to somebody like me? I'm gonna be here on earth anyway, so you going on, the glory. So just give me the stuff. I don't mind. Okay, so apparently some of these people have even quit their jobs. So I'm in communication with a couple that I picked up from their church. So I picked them up from their church. They gave me $1,900 as a donation because they said that Jesus Christ is coming back I got the dates. They gave me the dates. He's coming back anywhere between the 23rd and the 25th. And they said he is coming back at night. And so, because they say it's something about like a thief in the night or something like that. And I was like, okay, so they say he is coming back at night, but they don't know which night. They say it's between the 23rd and the 25th. They say that they've been told something about a dove in the sky, a bird
Some
that
random
the Lord
dates.
sent to somebody and told them that. I don't know the full story, but the people end up FaceTiming me. So the couple FaceTime me. So I wish they had called so I could record it off my other phone or something like that. But I don't want to be too sneaky, because these people are entrusting me with their unholy funds. They say the love of money is the root of all evil. I don't love money, but I know that I do need money to pay my bills. And since some people are about to be raptured up, you're not gonna need the money anyway. And so since I've been put in this position, so anyways, I'm on FaceTime with them. So they got a couple of people already at their house getting ready for the prayer meeting. So they say that they're planning to stay up. They're fasting until the Lord comes. So they said they're fasting until the Lord comes. They're gonna be staying up. They're gonna be praying, and doing different things like that. So I was like, okay. So they got a couple of people at their house. So I'm on FaceTime with them. So they're showing me around. So I guess I'm the chosen one for these group of people. And so they show me around. They're like, yeah, this is him. We bless him. And the Lord just said that the Uber driver, be a blessing to this guy and just give him your stuff and give him the money. And so we gave him the money and stuff like that. And then we told him, we'd be in contact with him. So this is him. And, I'm waving. I'm saying, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all ready to go? And, congratulations. Y'all made it in. Y'all get to that gate and stuff. And so they was like, yeah, well, do you know the Lord? I said, oh, I'm not here for that. I'm staying. I'm going to be here. Y'all go ahead on, be in that first trip. Y'all go on that first trip. And, maybe y'all can send us some signs, once y'all already get up there. You know what I'm saying? And so I said, y'all go ahead on, but I'm staying here. And so one of the ladies was like, yeah, well, I quit my job. So apparently they found out about this last week. I'm late to the party. I didn't know that Jesus was coming back after 2,000 years of being gone. All of a sudden in 2025, between September 23rd and the 25th, I didn't know. So one of the ladies was like, yeah, I already quit my job. A couple of them was in the background saying, yeah, I'm not even gonna give a notice. I'm just gonna call them tomorrow and say, hey, all this is about to shut down. The Lord is coming back and I'm doing this. I say, okay. So the guy was saying the 401k. And that's when we start talking. So he said the 401k, he want to withdraw the money out and distribute the money. And I said, okay, well, I don't mind helping y'all if y'all need a ride to go, do the paperwork, whatever. I'm all y'all's from now until y'all go up to meet the Lord. I'm here for y'all. Y'all don't even have to pay me for the rides now because y'all giving me the lump sums and stuff like that. So don't worry about it. So we talking, and he said, yeah, we got to get the 401k stuff, together. And I'm like, well, I think that take a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks to get that change. But if anything happens, just put me as the beneficiary, you don't have to do the withdrawal because I think the withdrawal take 7-10 business days and y'all already be gone. So at least change the paperwork. Let me come with y'all. I got my ID, my name, my birth certificate. I'm from here, and my U.S. passport, all that. And we could just change me to beneficiary, and then that way I could be in charge of everything for y'all. So he said, okay, they're gonna be looking into the 401k stuff because he knows he had it. So they scrambling around. They scrambling around because they saying that the Lord didn't give them enough time to get everything together, but they want to give it away. So some people have said, how do you feel that they got in your car and they automatically thought or think that you're not in that number? Listen, I don't want to be in that number, baby. Like I said, y'all go up there first and let me know. Because personally, I might not get into heaven. You know what I'm saying? But I had prayed, and at least if I don't get in, I can live outside of the city. You know how sometimes you want to live in like a city, like people move to Atlanta, they move to Houston, they move to LA, but it's a little expensive to live in the city. It's a lot of money to stay in the city, but you move in on the outskirts. So if they got like an outskirt of heaven, I live on the outskirts of heaven, or I'm not in the gate, but I can still call my family, check in. Hey, grandma, how you doing? Hey, grandpa, I know you went up there, whatever. So just checking in with y'all, but I don't think I'm actually gonna get in anyway. So I don't want to take that first trip there. So I'm gonna let y'all go, and I'm gonna hold it down here. I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take care of y'all house. They got cars, y'all, and I don't know if y'all saw the last video, but I tagged the area that I was in, and these people got money. Okay, this is a nice neighborhood, in LA County. So I'm like, hey, listen. So I asked them about the cars. So one of the ladies and her husband, they were there. So it was about like maybe 10 of them at the house right now. Now, mind you, it's more than meeting up at the house. They can do their prayer circle and stay up until the Lord come back. Get all the paperwork together and distribute stuff, right? So they were saying that they already sold their car. They sold their car to the dealership this weekend at CarMax. Yesterday, Saturday, they sold their car to CarMax yesterday, and they gave the money to the church today. They gave a check to the church. So I'm like, well, sister, you got to address them in their titles. I said, well, sister, why did you give the money to the church if, y'all all going? Isn't the pastor, the first lady, the second lady, third lady, because, the pastor got like 3-4 wives and stuff. Well, I'm sorry. He got one wife and like 3 mistresses, But I'm like, why the pastor and y'all giving it to the church and the first family and the church, but y'all all could be caught up together. But apparently some people from the church staying too, because I'm like, y'all should have saved that check. I wish I would have picked them up, but y'all would have met me before giving me the check, because they sold a Mercedes Benz and they gave the church $38,000. See, they real open with the information because they leaving in a couple of days. So they not holding nothing back. They ain't got no secrets because they're about to go, right? So she said the check, $38,000, they gave it to the church. Don't know why they gave the money to the church. You know what I'm saying? Because the church, everybody in the church is supposed to be gone. Which is my next point to where is why they giving money to strangers, because they say their whole family, in particular, these people, they like, okay, we all leaving. The Lord Jesus has come back for all of us, so we giving it to other people. So I'm not even offended. I'm like, I'm a black man with blonde hair. So no, I don't want to take the first trip up to glory. Like I said, I might not even make it into the gates, but if there's an outskirts of heaven, I don't mind, going in there. Maybe I can stay in the garden, help y'all out in the garden. If he do let me in heaven, I could work in the garden, or I could, help Job and them out, Job family, or, one of them, like just be a help to Ruth and Boaz. I'm sure I can help them out. They got the, Boaz on the thing and he married Ruth. So I can help out with that kind of stuff. Or Jonah and the whale, Noah. I don't mind going, meet Noah and them. I could go work for Noah. Noah, he'll probably, maybe, are they have an ark coming? Noah might come. How did the Lord come? I think it's 5 this time. But if Noah want to build a second ark, for the next time, I don't mind. Yeah, I'll help Noah and them so I can get a job to get in. I can be on a work visa. That's perfect. I can be on a work visa in heaven and then just live on the outskirts, unless they do deportation. I don't know how it works. I don't know what Jesus is doing. But, like I said, right now where we're at is I'm waiting to hear back from them, because I gave them my Cash App and everything, all the Cash App, the Zelle, and the Venmo, so that way I can start receiving the payment. So they said soon enough, once they get everybody there, they'll start sending me money. And so I can just have that money. And I say, well, listen, I can be a driver for all of y'all. In the meantime, till y'all leave by the 25th, I can drive y'all around to y'all appointments, go see the lawyers, the 401k, putting y'all notices at y'all jobs. I told y'all these folks' houses is paid off. These people ain't got no mortgages. Change over the deeds or whatever. Have all this stuff work. Just go head on. You know what I'm saying? I can do that for y'all. So that's the process I'm in right now. Like I said, I'm, whatever. I'm not even offended. I can be that, liaison between here and y'all with, heaven till y'all go, till y'all leave. So I'm okay with that.
When I sit up there and tell you, like, I was sitting up there rolling when I first ran past this dude's video, like, some people are made for comedy. I swear to goodness. Some people have found their calling directly on social media when they're able to, like, tell a story. Because, man, let me tell you, Like, yo, I can be a liaison in between earth and heaven. That's cool. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. But yeah, that he got blessed though. Going back to that first video, he got what about a good 1900. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's some pretty good money right there, especially for like doing Uber. That's a hell of a tip. Like you are not going to. That has to be one of the greatest tips in Uber history. It has to be right up there because that is insane for somebody to hand that directly over. But I will agree with somebody who said in the comment section that he should get a lawyer, just in case if those people, if their plans don't go as planned and they want their money back, he should get a lawyer. He should specifically do that. I feel like the videos that he has up there will also help him out as well, but he should get a lawyer to square away, everything as well. But yeah, the other reason I wanted to bring this up is because you're dealing with a very serious and scary situation where people will get into like this hyper type of state where they feel like the end is near and all this other type of stuff, and people start doing a whole bunch of stuff. Right, you got a lot of people that'll start like making wills and all this other type of stuff. Like you got a lot of people out here that's planning to just like, all right, I'm not even gonna wait. I know that God is coming. Let me just, you got people out here that'll do that whole type of thing. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't good. Like, I don't know who started this, and I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, I know why people started it because people always tend to start these things up like every 10 or whatever amount of years, because we had the same thing during 2012. There was another one of what was that? It was a black woman with her family and her kids. She took the life of her husband because she was like she did like some tarot cards, and it said like the end of the world or whatever was coming, and she took out her husband while he was sleeping, and then she took the kids and she was driving at high speeds to basically for everything to be said and done. And I think two of the kids survived. I think two of the girls survived the car crash. So yeah, this is it's a very dangerous thing. It's a very dangerous thing. And this is when it comes into the area. Like I said, it's a very slippery slope when I mention this. When you deal with an aspect such as this, where people can get to a point where they just want to just do some radical type of things that just should not be done. This is when social medias should be, pulling back on certain type of content, because it could lead potentially to other people doing, copycat behavior and all this other type of stuff, and that's not good. It's not good at all. But like I said, it is a slippery slope, dealing with this. But also at the same time, you got a lot of crazy people out here. You got a lot of people that ain't really, their head really ain't on straight. And they'll hear one thing on TikTok, but like, oh, the end of the world is coming. Cool, no problem. Let me just sit up there and, whatnot or whatever. So I don't know, man. People got to be careful out there. Like I said, everybody, as you going to and from during like this week, be very, very careful. Like I said, you're gonna have a lot of crazy people directly out there. People making it seem like they know the days of when God is coming. Like I said, I've been hearing this for decades, and then before I was even in existence, my mother and my grandmother have been sitting up there hearing this for decades, because magically everybody knows when the end is coming. And I'm like, okay, the man is supposed to be coming like a thief in the night, but you're going to tell me when he's going to be pulling up to the scene, opening up somebody's bedroom window to just like, come get the good souls? Come on now. That's crazy. That's diabolical, but be like that. What was it? Gray stated that Miss Gray said it could be a cause of civil unrest. That's a good point. That is a very good point. That is a very, very good point. Sham said, "Oh, you talk. Wait. Oh, I think you might be talking to Mo. I think. What was it? Ms. Brown said, "Why would they believe it?" Like I said, I have no clue. I can't even sit up there and tell you. I mean, but you got a lot of people that are just ready. I guess that's the best way to sit up there and put it. They're ready to, whatever. But other than that, I can't give you a reason. I can't give you a reason. And like I said, everybody has their own beliefs. You got some people out here that believe that only 100,000 out of the 8 billion people that are on this planet. You got some people that believe that only, like 100,000 people are going to be able to get saved, and then everybody else is just, whatever, at a moment in time. Uh Tim said I wasn't going to let the preacher get up and tell me what's going on already myself. Yeah. Nikki said, please do a follow up. Yo, you talking about on the rapture? Yeah. Yeah. Because like I said, that's been trending on TikTok, and the only reason I even know about it is because I saw it. Was it on Threads or was it on something else? I forgot whichever social media platform it was that basically led me to TikTok. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of videos of people talking about different plans and stuff that you should do and all this other. I'm like, I don't even understand how you even trying to plan anything for something that you don't even know when it's specifically going to happen or how it's going to happen. Like I said, it's crazy work. It's some crazy work. 100%. But anyways, Ms. Brown says, given like cult-like behavior, yeah. Yep. Let's say Bill Gates don't believe in a rapture. Yeah. Indian Summer said about 144,000 represents the 12 tribes. It's not literally that amount of people. I got you. No, but I was talking about a different group. No, I was talking about a different group that said, basically 100,000 people were going to be saved. Ms. Gray said most people believe anything. That's true. That is true. 1,000%. But anyways, that's pretty much it. That is the tail end of the live stream there, to let people pretty much settle on the whole thing dealing with the rapture. Thoughts and concerns directly on that. You'll be able to fill those in and write those in the description section of the live stream after everything is said and done. But yeah, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody that came directly through, donated through the live stream. Shout out to all of the regulars, as D Money would say. Shout out to all of the members. Shout out to my beautiful, wonderful moderators, a part of the platform for doing the Lord's work every single day. Shout out to all my patrons and everything of the sort as well. And also, again, shout out to all of my haters that pull directly up to the scene, every single day, and say the things that they say every single day. Sham said what? He said, "LOL, I banned someone off up here trying to sell the Rapture scam." I didn't even see that. But yeah, much love, respect, and appreciation. Hit that like button directly on the way out, subscription button if you want. And I will catch you guys in the wait. Sham said we game it today, says you had to pull the tippy. I probably will. At some point. I don't know what I'm gonna play, but I probably, end up playing something. D Money says you just called me beautiful. Man, I say this all the time. I say this all the time. I mean, to the guys, like, much love, respect. Whatever, man. This man Mo said, "Go eat some salmon and rice, man." This is what I get for telling y'all stuff every time. Lord have mercy. Sham said, "Yeah, I have to make up for my girl." That's crazy. Because Tippy would be the main one to sit up there and start that real quick. Be like, "Yo, games today?" And then Tippy come into the comment section talking about, "Yo, I'm late. What's been happening? What's going on?" But yeah. But anyways, much love, respect, and appreciation. I do have I think I do got some videos in the back. I just gotta post them and whatnot. So you will have some videos later on today. But yeah, much love, respect, and appreciation. Thanks for staying directly with me through the whole live stream. And I will catch you guys in the next live stream and or video. Peace out. We're just going to highlight D Money's comment, and we're going to leave off on the stream on that one.